Wieso ich für einmal nicht auf dem Velosattel sitze, sondern auf dem Balanceboard stehe, erfährst du in der Videoserie von der ÖKK.
Willst auch du im Balance bleiben? Dann mach mit bei der Verlosung und gewinn mit ein bisschen Glück ein Balanceboard.
Nicht alle haben einen persönlichen Velomech wie ich, aber meine Versicherung, die ÖKK, zahlt die Hälfte an deinen Veloservice.
Okay, look. Born sinner, go figure. Keep trying to go toe to toe with you. They talking like you just a gold digger. Nah, I know you always been a gold getter. Better than my last. You get in the dome better than my last. You can hit the pole better than my last.
In total, 2 kilometers and 700 meters, and for one lap, it's going to be 150 meters climbing cumulative.
That's right.
And now we see an overview from the first start line, the start line of the women category.
You see some grey clouds about, not quite as clear as it was a couple of days ago.
And today some news for this race. They mix the elite category with the under 23 category.
That's right.
It's going to be only one race. And this is always positive for the under 23 category because they have the chance to race against the idols and also the top riders as Keller, Furchini or Linda in the garden.
Well, Alexandra Keller leading the series. She's won the previous two series in this ÖKK Bike Revolution Championship. Pauline Ferrand-Prévot beat her at round one, the now Olympic champion. She's not here today. We won't see the overall winner crowned today because next week actually only got to wait another week for the finals, which are in Huttwil. The riders will drop their worst result of the season, so then we'll be able to work out who exactly has done what. But let's enjoy this race today. Keller, the World Cup leader, leading the overall in the World Cup, is here, is racing today, and surely she has to be the woman to beat, right?
That's for sure, especially.
And here she is. Apologies for the lack of sound. We're working on getting that for you.
But we can imagine more or less the sentences. For sure, Alexandra Keller had a good World Championships last week, finishing 7th in Andorra. And now she's back racing at home. The last time she raced at home, it was the previous race, the ÖKK BIKE REVOLUTION in Davos. Keller won, absolutely dominating the race. She had a good shape, also previous the Olympics, after Olympics and the World Championships, and now they are back for to defending the leader jersey.
Okay. We're going to find another rider in the pack. But as you said, Jose, a big opportunity today for these women. You know, the younger women in the field, a lot of the big names like Alexandra Keller, they've got to be tired. The build-up to Paris was extraordinary. The feeling afterwards, it's got to be very different, right? You've got to, you know, it's like that was the big peak of the year for most of the riders that were there. All the riders that were there, of course. Yeah,
the under 23 riders, they don't have the chance during the season to race against the elite category. And that's a great opportunity. You know, at the World Championships and World Cups, they split the categories. And you can never compare, you know, because it's always one more lap for the elite category and one less, and different days and different times. So for all of them, the young generations, they got inspired by the elite category and race against them or with them. Absolutely. It's always a great opportunity. And for sure, we will see some young riders in front. In the men's category and in the women category, and also one of the names that it's starting also. It's been out of the races for a while, Jolanda Neff. She's starting again, so we are happy for her.
So Zoe Cuthbert, the Australian, second at the National Championships. Riding on Jenny Rizved's team.
The next rider,
Zoe Cuthbert.
Next rider should be eine, neue.
She's ill though, right?
She's ill, she's not racing. As you mentioned, they can remove one of the results from the ÖKK. So.
But here she is, the 2020 Olympic champion, Jolanda Neff, sat out of Paris a few weeks ago. She's been having breathing difficulties. It's basically, from what I understand, a cramped kind of vocal cord, right? It's a muscle in your neck. We understand that the therapy is working, no surgery required. She's been working through it. Today is an absolute test for Jolanda. She has to go through some kind of breathing exercises during the race. So let's see what she can do. Paula Gorka there. Fourth in last year's ÖKK series, a fifth in Engelbert this year. Keep an eye on her today.
Yeah, top 50 at the World Championships a week ago. So for sure she's in shape, on form. And one of the riders that is always attending the ÖKK BIKE REVOLUTION races, Nicole Kohler, also one of the big names of our sport, especially after winning the Absa Cape Epic stage races in South Africa at the beginning of the season.
That's right. A sixth actually up in Montana at the World Cup there, her best World Cup result of this year.
And the best Swiss rider at the World Championships like a week ago.
Janabella Moina from the Ukraine, 32 years old now, the 2017 overall World Cup winner. Inside the top 20 in Leger this year, so still somewhere near that Ukrainian national champion. Always great to see Janabella Moina lining up.
32, still young, Janabella Moina.
Yeah, still a child.
It's a name, he's been in the sport for long.
And the woman that's won the last 2 rounds of this series this year, the woman who is undefeated as the champion of this series in the 2 previous editions, the World Cup leader, Alexandra Keller. A dominant performance from her at the last race. What will we see from her today? Surely she's going to be feeling all the pressure of the Olympics. All that stuff is now behind her, but she's going to be a bit tired. What do you think, Jose? That's what people are saying.
Yeah, after the Olympics, for everybody, it's hard to catch back again the rhythm, Before the Olympics, you need to qualify. You make a big effort, and you squeeze your body. Then you get to the Olympics. That not everybody gets to the Olympics. Only 2 riders from each country get to the Olympics. But everybody has to focus on qualification. And then you pass the Olympics, and then you have to rebuild again this season because there is World Championships, ÖKK BIKE REVOLUTION, even still 2 World Cups ahead. So everybody's tired, but for sure, for Alexandra Keller, she showed us in the past that she has enough body, enough physical condition to keep a long season. And for sure, she's going to have a good race today. Actually, she needs to get a little bit more in the mood of racing. Last week she was 21 at the World Championships, probably not the result that she expected, but for sure it's building the end of the season. And end of the season starts today at the ÖKK BIKE REVOLUTION.
Absolutely. So here we go then.
Full focus for all the riders in the first line.
8 laps for the women on bike with Janabella Moina there. A tarmac climb to start with. Expect a fast start. Pretty narrow, Jose. Let's hope no one comes together.
It's a straight line, and then a fast corner on left. You can see in your camera.
Big long left-hander at the top, yeah.
And, the focus, and so it goes.
Here we go then. 8 laps for these women. Alexandra Keller there in the red. Yolanda Neff over on the far side with a great start. Zoe Cuthbert in there as well.
Alexandra Keller missed a little bit the start. But we know Yolanda Neff is good in the starting, as we can see.
Well, as we said, Neff came back at the World Championships. It's been a lengthy layoff for her, though. She did well at the first 2 World Cups in South America, but then these breathing difficulties started. And if they were going to be a problem, I would imagine the start of the race is perhaps where you would see them more. There's no managing your heart rate at this moment, right?
No, here it's just full gas, as we say in a common word, all out. Yeah. And cross country changed a lot in the last year. So when it was a races of 2 hours, you could get a rhythm of your breathing and also your body. But now it's so explosive cross country discipline. It's 1 hour 20, even less, 1 hour 15. That it's a big stress for your body. And if you have even problems like Yolanda Neff in breathing, then you feel it even more than the other riders.
Well, first technical section coming. You can see all the riders sitting on those telescopic seat posts, getting the seats low and out of the way. And of course, Yolanda Neff wanted to be first into this section.
And Linda Edegan coming back from injury,
who took a medal in Tokyo at those Olympics behind Yolanda Neff, of course, when that Swiss team with Sina Fry took all 3 medals. Incredible, showing you some of the dominance of this nation in this sport. So under the bridge they go and heading back out of the town now. Beautiful track here in Gruyère.
Yeah, it's a combination we mentioned before between natural climbing, natural downhills, and also some technical parts that the locals they build for this event. We see a slow motion from the start. It's all in the beginning. It's super important to get a good start, especially here in Gruyère, because as we could see, after 500 meters you have a technical part going on, and it goes up to the castle. The castle you mentioned
That's right.
Famous castle of Gruyère.
Yeah, I believe this town, this city, first traces of it back in the 11th century. And Gruyère cheese actually is the most famous, the most consumed cheese in Switzerland and in most of Europe. Often, here comes Alexandra Keller. Well, it's going to be a battle of the Swiss. Keller in the red, in the gown there with the purple shorts on. Yolanda Neff, those blonde locks flowing out of her helmet. Giraud goes through, the former French champion, in 4th place, just ahead of Romina Fucini. Cuthbert in there, Kohler, 7th for her at the moment. Bellamoina a little bit further back, 10th. But not much time differences at the moment, Jose.
It's fast, you know, it's only one line. It's a course that for the moment, it's always open for everybody. And it's, it's technical and fast, and you don't make such a big difference at the beginning of the race. Obviously, everybody's more or less fresh. We have here a drone view. That was fast, and Yolanda Neff is still in front.
Yeah, dropping away.
Alexandra Keller. Alexandra Keller is in front, took the lead, and Ronja Bollinger. Sorry, I apologize before I say Linda in the gun.
Yes.
And Ronja, a small problem for Alexandra Keller. And Yolanda Neff. We have Ramona Forchini, Nicole Kohler. This is one of those technical parts. It's a lot of routes. Pedaling, you have to keep pedaling always to keep traction and the bike moving. Not really demanding physically, but technically, yes. And you can lose or earn some seconds there. We see once again the drone shot. You can see how a small difference started to be between the riders. Yolanda Neff dropping a little bit.
Looking like she's going to go back another spot as well. So Neff
suffering.
But of course, Neff, you know, she's been unable to train as she would want. She missed going to Paris. Incredibly gave up her position to Sina Fry. I mean, you know,
that was
mad props for doing that.
Yeah, that
decided
was,
she wasn't in shape enough to go. Had these health issues, you know, didn't go and defend the Olympic title.
That was an act of generosity from her side, you know, to give away 2-3 weeks ago, 2-3 weeks in front of the Olympics to give her spot to Sina Fry. That was a big act from Yolanda Neff. But we are happy that she's back. As she mentioned, she needs to do a lot of races. It's not about recovering from a crash that you broke a bone or something. It's just
a difficult one.
Learning again
that's
to
right.
breathe. And
look
crazy.
at this. Keller's attacked on this climb. She's put a good gap now into Ronja Blockliger.
Yeah.
So 7 seconds as they come out of there. Lena Giraud, a French former national champion there, fighting on in 3rd. Fucini going through in 4th as well. Actually, Fucini going to be riding as a privateer at the remaining World Cups this year. I believe the team is disbanding.
We remember Ramona Forchini, 2 times a world champion marathon.
Yes, that's right. Down the staircase for Keller. This is what she does in these races, into the Red Bull routes and rolls. But Keller, she rides from the front in all these OKKs and in the World Cups, let's be honest. And when she's in this kind of form, she's pretty hard to contain, pretty hard to stop. Into another big man-made downhill here, lots of different options down there. Great to see the work they've put into this track, Jose.
Such a nice technical part.
It's a long lap as well. Very varied lap, actually. A little bit of everything in this one.
Pretty long lap, but Keller is getting some seconds ahead. As you mentioned, Keller is the kind of rider that she likes to show the cards in front of the race and during the race. You know, he's not the kind of rider that hides some tricks or some cards. And she's always for good or for bad things, but she's always there and one of our big names in the women's sport. Now looks comfortable for Alexandra Keller.
Yeah, riding for the Thomas team, run by Ralph Neff, a very Swiss team, almost in its entirety. But great to see Ronja Blockliger there, the Live Factory Racing rider, 2nd place at the moment, ahead of Yolanda Neff. Ramona Fucini in there as well. But it is absolutely, and there is good line.
Yeah, but the gap is not big.
No, it's not as big as I thought it was going to be, actually.
Ronja is keeping the gap, always close to 4 seconds.
Yes, come back a little bit.
Lena Giraud stays there, 6 seconds. Lena Giraud
So Flückiger bringing back around 3 seconds in that sector. Keller back on the climb. A physical track.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like there's anywhere to rest on the descents. They're quite short, punchy climbs.
Not really resting. As you can see, the downhills, they are technical, demands a little bit of energy. It's not the kind of downhill that they say flow downhill, that you just let roll in the bike. No, here it's demanding, a lot of rocks, a lot of trees and artificial, and a lot of corners, Probably the ground is not slippery, it's not loose, but the corners, they also demand energy and focus. And we see Keller looking back to see the difference. And Lena Giraud passed Ronja, and Ronja Bollinger is here with Ramona Forchini. And now we have a duo in front, Alexandra Keller, Lena Giraud, just ahead.
Lena Giraud there in the purple, as I said, the 2020 French national champion from Briançon in France. And I haven't seen her shining so much on the World Cup in the last couple of years, but 2022, twice inside the top 10 there, a brilliant 9th in Leogang, but an even better 6th place, nearly on the World Cup podium in Mont Sainte-Anne.
And Giraud is the same age as Lohan Lecomte, so 2021 they were quite in front together. But of course, when you get into the elite category, things are getting serious. But she's back step by step, elite category is not always easy. And here they finish the first lap.
Yep, that's it. So around 9 minutes then, lap 1, Keller, Ronja Flückiger, Koller going over the line in 5th. Where's Jolanda Neff? A little bit further back at the moment. So we're on bike. Here comes Jana Belomoinen, like we say, the national champion of the Ukraine. Up and over the line she comes. And Belomoinen, Esteban going through. Jolanda Neff coming up over the line now. So 10th place for the 2020 Olympic champion. We caught up with her before the race. Just waiting for that interview with Jolanda Neff.
I didn't race for 3 months, so that was a long time away from the races. So usually I take 6 months to do a proper build-up, step by step, and tick all the boxes. So yeah, right now I'm back on my bike for a couple weeks, so my shape is not there. That's no secret. But anyways, I still wanted to come back racing this year. I didn't just want to cancel my whole season. I really also wanted to test it out. How does it work in the races with the briefing? So for me at this point, it's just good to do races. It's a good way to practice my briefing, to learn new things. And then, I'm just looking forward to a really good winter where I can do a proper build-up and then, hopefully take all the learnings that I take this year into the next season. My shape is not on the peak, but I will just do the best I can at all these races, and most of all I'm just happy to be back.
Well, we're very happy to see Jolanda Neff back in action, and of course we are, and doesn't look like it's going to be our best result today, but how could it be? As she said, only back on a bike a couple of weeks and a new learning process for her now, having to we know, exercise her breathing as she comes, as she races at the moment. So a different approach for now for Jolanda Neff. Rumours of a team change perhaps next year as well, floating about a little bit for Jolanda. So she will come into 2025 fully motivated, I would think, after this season.
Whoa,
big crash! Nasty on the gravel.
Lena Giraud.
Giraud goes down. Wow.
The drop. Ooh.
What?
Looks like
going to be some nasty gravel rash. Thankfully, back on the bike though quickly, but
they help her back on the bike. And look at this. This is a different sport than we used to see. Those guys, they crash and they get back to the bike and they just focus to continue. But that's pity for Lena Giraud. We see
just losing the front probably. No, gets a bit front heavy and then just into the bank on the side. A nasty crash.
And Nicole Keller just keep.
That drop's bigger than it looks, Jose.
Yeah.
You need a bit of speed off it.
Yeah, those drops, they are technical and big. And especially if it's designed by Matthias Flückiger. You remember last year in Nutbil, he built a mega jump.
Yeah, so thinking ahead to next week's race in Hutwil. Last year, it's Matthias Flückiger's home race, hometown. He took it upon himself after inspecting the course the day before the race, actually, that it wasn't spectacular enough. And he built like something that Evel Knievel would have been scared to have hit, like this ramp, and then hit it every lap in the race because he built it, he had to. It was amazing.
It was obligation from the organizer. We see back again Alexandra Keller getting some seconds in front. Ramona Forchini and Ronja Bollinger trying to catch back. Nicole Kohler now alone.
Yeah.
Because Lena Giro crash. And we saw in 6th position Fiona Schibler. It's under 23 rider, first year under 23. So as we mentioned before in the start of the commentaries, we will see the opportunity. We will have the opportunity to see under 23 riders in front.
Yeah.
And one of the examples, it's Fiona Schibler, first year under 23, fighting already with the elite category.
Incredible, yeah.
And that's a good news. That means the future is here for the Swiss mountain bike community also.
Keller, the leader there in the red, still a good lead. Hasn't ridden away with it yet. There goes second place at the moment, Ramona Forchini. Ronja Blockliger there in third for Live Factory Racing. The Thomas rider out front at the moment, though, Jose. She's looking pretty dominant so far, but not as dominant as perhaps we saw at the last race in Davos.
No, in Davos was extremely dominating the race, and it was before the Olympics. Peak of shape, let's say, and she mentioned that she was it was the last big training, last big block for before the Olympics. Now all the riders, they have to rebuild the season, and Alexandra Keller is rebuilding the season using the ÖKK BIKE REVOLUTION, well known for the technical courses and also for fast courses, and also for the top level of the competitors. We have an overview of the riders. They are all close to each other, always small gaps. It's not a big gap from Alexandra Keller. No. We see her pushing and looking back to check the difference between Ramona Forchini and Ronja Bollinger, but let's see a typical position from Alexandra Keller.
Yeah,
head down,
flat
and
back.
Push, hammering.
Well, the gap about the same. It was 7 seconds at the on lap 1. Of course, another lap's gone by, but still 10 seconds. So Forchini definitely keeping Keller honest at the moment. A little bit further back now to Ronja Blockliger. Here she comes, third place at the moment. Strong ride for her.
Nicole Kohler coming back.
Yeah,
she's good in coming back in the races. Probably the beginning, she's always struggling, but then as longer it gets the race, she gets better and better. And now talking about Ramona Forchini, marathon rider, also cross-country rider, but we have to remember that last race she finished 3rd position. So I mean, she's one of the riders that should be in front with Alexandra Keller, and she's showing.
Yeah, she's not too far off at the moment. 10 seconds back, then the gap from 1st to 2nd.
And 10 seconds in a technical course like this is more or less nothing.
Huh?
No, not so much.
And it is a very technical track, a very progressive track that we're seeing here for the 4th round of the ÖKK Bike Revolution from Gruyère in Western Switzerland. If you just joined us, I'm Rob Warner alongside Jose Hamida. And it's that woman there, the series champion of the last 2 years, leading this year's ÖKK Bike Revolution series, leading this year's World Cup as well. Alexandra Keller on a mission in 2024. But Ramona Forchini, that woman there, definitely keeping her on her toes in this race. 10 seconds, the gap as they went across through the last split. So somewhere near at the moment.
And Ramona keeping the 10 seconds because this course is completely different like the one we have in Davos. Davos was more wide roads and fast, a lot of speed. So 30 seconds gap, it was you couldn't see your rider in front. But here, it's a slow course, no much speed, a lot of corners. So you always keep your enemy in your visual. As
yeah,
you
look
can
at
see.
that. There is the gap 1st to 2nd. Yeah, Forchini
And then there is always a fight, you know. Yolanda trying to escape and Ramona Forchini trying to keep the gap because she can see Yolanda. Oh, Keller,
Yes.
and we see some
That's the raindrops.
Starts
Well
to rain.
spotted. Well, rain was forecast, and you can imagine what it will do on parts of the track like that as well. So the rain may come down here this afternoon. That will change this track dramatically. You can see that it looks like it's going to rain. The grey, there's no wind. It's still there now. Let's see how much longer this one stays dry for then. Keller's still leading, nearly 20 minutes on the clock. Very early stage of this race.
We know that Keller is really good in wet conditions, in muddy conditions.
She'll need to be on this track though.
Yeah, as in England.
And what will we see with tyres? I mean, I guess everyone started on a very fast rolling dry tyre or not? You tell me, what's the tactics if you know it's going to rain during a race? Would you start the race perhaps with a more aggressive tyre or not?
Depends the ground. The previous days you've been training on the course, and then you know more or less if it rains, it will change a lot. Sometimes it rains and the courses, they don't change much. You just get dirty, but it don't change the grip. But in this course, with all those green sections and off-camber, it looks like it's going to change a lot. So hopefully all the riders, they choose intermediate tire probably. They don't have a super rolling tire at the moment because they knew the forecast will be raining maybe in the afternoon. And well, actually it's afternoon already. So it was in time forecast. And for sure they use 2.3 with some big knobs in front, and then rear they keep it a little bit rolling. But each rider has a different preference of tire using. And of course, if it's off camera, a lot of green sections, sometimes you only run. So it doesn't matter if you have a tire with a lot of knobs or not.
That's right.
You just run. But looks like this course is not going to be a running course because all the uphill sections.
Yeah, they look good and rideable, no matter what. I think the downhills will be the problems. And 20 seconds back to Flückiger now.
Yeah, Lena Giraud trying to.
Well, remember she was flying, but then had that big crash. That was nasty looking crash off that wooden drop. So that's taken the wind out of sails. The top non-Swiss rider Giroud goes through. 6th position for Fiona Schiebler, the under-23 rider, and 7th position for Jana Belomoina coming back. Veteran rider, experienced rider that she knows the rhythm for these races, and if it rains for Jana Belomoina, it's pretty good situation because she's super light on the bike, and the traction on wet condition is going to be better for her. And look at that, Yolanda Neff. As we said, been off the bike all season this year with those breathing difficulties, finding her way back one step at a time. So still inside the top 10 there. Top position for her.
And I'm here now with the physiotherapist of Alessandra, Tamara Marolf. Nice to have you here. So she said she's quite okay with her knee, but tell us, how is she really doing with her knee after her crash?
Well, she crashed at the World Champs in Andorra, and it was quite unlucky because she fell on her leg, and there was a nerve. That's why it was very painful for her at the beginning, but now she's fine again and she's ready to attack.
So she has had a really long season behind her. How is she doing with the recovery?
Well, she's very good in recovery, I think. She plans all the time where she sleeps, and she's very, the recovery time and the training and stuff, and that's why she's fit as well until the end,
Great, thank you, Tamara.
Thank you.
Well, thank you to our team on the ground there,
Nice comment, but I never saw Alexandra Keller not ready for racing or fighting.
No, that's true. Ever.
Even with the knee problems.
That's all she knows.
Yeah. And look at this, you can see in the air that it's like raining or dropping a little bit.
Little bit, few
drops.
drops. The size of those drops tell me that when it does rain, and look at this.
Whoa, that's
beautiful riding from Flückiger through those logs there. when it does rain, the umbrellas are going up now. This is gonna, I think it's gonna really rain. That's my impression.
Yeah, it's gonna rain a lot. And
thunderstorms were supposed to come in later in the day. Actually, we thought we might have got the men's race out of the way as well, but it looks like the drama may be coming earlier than we expected this afternoon. It's not bothering this woman though. Alexandra Keller on lap 3 of 8 now. And cracking on regardless. This is second place, Ramona Ficini.
Those cobblestones, they look quite wet already. And probably just slippery on the corners. We see Ramona Ficini how she takes this corner.
Okay, well, we caught up with Jelle Benamoina, the former World Cup overall winner, before the race.
I really love to come for these races, and it's really high organized level of races. At the moment, I feel again a little bit better because till the Olympic Games, I felt and feels like I'm growing with my performance and shape. But so sad I had a COVID before Olympic Games, like just a few days before. Then I'm really struggling after, like sometimes. So for the words, I'm thought that I'm ready, but not. My health is not really recovered 100%. So now I still have some races on the roll for the end of season, and I'm really looking forward.
Well, we are as well. Good luck with the recovery. The dreaded virus still playing havoc with athletes around the globe.
Yeah.
As might this rain now. You can see it really coming down here. Gruyère round 40, ÖKK Bike Revolution might be about to get very wet and slippery.
Yeah, that's for sure. And for Alexandra Keller, the things didn't change. You know, in dry conditions, she's good and she's pushing.
Look at the power of her on this climb. This is typical Alexandra. This is Keller at her best, out of the saddle. The World Cup winner in 2021 in both short track and cross-country Olympic, and leading XCO again this year, the World Cup Series this year. Phenomenal athlete.
Yeah, now it's a rush of motivation for her because she knows that she's really good in wet conditions.
Yeah. And you can see the cobbles under the bridge there where it's how much wet.
Completely different.
How much drier it is,
Different style. Ramona Ficini and Alexandra Keller. And for sure, one of the riders that can profit of this situation is Yolanda Neff.
Yeah.
Because the race is going to get slower, let's say, the speed.
And we know.
And for Yolanda, it's also good for the breathing, and, you know, it's less hectic, the racing.
And it's more skills.
And it's more skills.
And that's where Yolanda Neff shines. She is absolutely one of the very finest mountain bike riders on the planet. And she doesn't mind risking it on the downhills. Nor does Alexandra Keller, though, I would say as well. The gap bigger now is 10 seconds on lap 2. This lap, it's a lot more, 18 seconds now. So Keller turning a screw here in Gruyère, Switzerland.
No, it's the downtown of this small city, just 2,000 people living, and we can see all the terrace and all the tourists. And also spectators enjoying a high competition, high mountain bike competition, and they even build those bridges, metal bridges. So as Jana Benamoina says, all the riders, they like to come to ÖKK Bike Revolutions because it's always a high-level competition. The locations, they are pretty cool, you know, historical places in Switzerland, and also good course organization, good course designed. And also, why not? It's good cash and prices for all of those riders that they are professionals.
Yeah.
They live from this sport, so they have a different option for living. They have Olympics, of course, but World Championships, World Cups, and ÖKK Bike Revolution and the teams. So they are enjoying a competition of professionals.
Yeah, and you can see the weather, Jose. Look at the mountaintops in the background now, starting to disappear. It still looks relatively dry out in the open there, not like it's been affected too much yet, but
for the moment not much. For the moment not much. No. It's going to take a while that everything gets really muddy.
It's when the wet mud gets carried onto the dry rocks that you're in real problems. Good to see Ronja Blöckliger there, still really chasing down Nicole Koller. There is that battle for you. Not too much time gap between those two. That's the battle for third and fourth that we're looking at now. Keller just coming out of shot there.
These sections are getting tricky when it's raining, you know, with a little bit grass.
Yep.
When it's a lot of sand and dry, it's going to take a while that gets a big ball of mud.
And especially at this time of year when we've had such a dry, hot summer, the ground is so hard that basically the top layer of it gets wet will turn to like a cream, a slime. The tyres, the ground doesn't really get any softer, and you can't get a tyre nobble into it. And like ice skating rink might be the best way to describe it if the rain does come down. So, well, look at that then. Flückiger still really chasing down Keller here. Good to see this one.
At the moment, it's more slippery, let's say, the asphalt and the cobblestones than the green areas and the normal single trail. But we see how they use a small line there. Nicole Keller. And we could see a small gap to Ronja Bolling there.
For Ronja, yeah.
Ramona Forchini.
Second place at the moment.
Going through the feed zone.
Looking like she's heading that way for a bottle. There she goes, yeah.
A bottle.
Great ride for her in second place at the moment. Former marathon world champion. Here's your leader though, Alexandra Keller.
Keep hammering, going up. You know, she's good in these sections because she has a lot of power and also in the technical downhills. But look at this, Ramona Forchini is keeping always the gap.
Maybe that gap's come down a little bit, you know.
A little bit, yeah. Looks like.
Impressive stuff then from Forchini. These two Swiss maestros, 1 and 2 at the moment.
She's motivated. The team stops at the end of the season. Actually, stops after this season. And she already announced that she's going to finish the season as a privatier.
That's right, that's right.
So this is going to be a rush of motivation also for her and results.
Well, huge changes feel like they're coming at the top of the sport in the World Cup, and the fallout will kind of affect all the series around as well, won't they?
Of course, the teams have changed. For 2025, there are many teams changing riders, the cards. They have different projects. Oh, obviously, it was a Olympic period.
That's what I was going to say. We've had an Olympic block, so now we will see massive changes across the board as teams shuffle to go for again at the next one in 4 years' time.
Yeah, all the teams and company and brands, they build a project for the future.
Yeah.
Maybe 2025 is always the year to get some really young riders from the under 23 category to make them grow towards Olympics 28. And some veterans, they decide to change a little bit the discipline, maybe focus a little bit more in marathons or cross-country, less cross-country and more in marathons. So we'll see some changes for the future. ÖKK BIKE REVOLUTION is still in 2025 for sure. It's going to be more races and more faces. And we see how the riders are still passing. Lena Giraud.
Yeah, so Giraud after that crash coming up over the line.
Fiona
Schibler actually leading the under 23 race here today. So that's the leading under 23 racer in 6th place at the moment. Well, we heard from Jana Bellamoina, and I believe we're going to hear from some of her staff, some of her team in a moment or two. Up over the line then goes Yolanda Neff, 7th now, so coming forward a little bit ahead of Jana Bellamoina.
Exactly, we talk about Yolanda Neff was in top 10th position, and she's coming back. Probably the race is less hectic, less speed because it's getting more physically and technically, and she's there.
Okay, well, let's hear from Jana Bellamoina's team.
And now I'm with Torin Holmgren from the team from Jana Bellamoina. So she told us yesterday that she had a COVID infection before Olympic. How is she dealing? Is that still a point?
No, I think she took the proper amount of time to really fully recover from it and feel better. And so now she's just working her way back up. But I think we're past that now.
Okay, very good. So today we have a lot of rounds. How's the nutrition plan with her?
Yeah, I mean, Jana has so much experience with racing that I think she's really gotten herself dialed in, and she just knows so well what she needs before a race. So I know her go-to before the race is always a white bun and, you know, some peanut butter and jam and just really good carbs. And then during the race, just lots, you know, we offer her nutrition every round, and she kind of gauges how she's feeling and makes sure she's up on it.
Thank you so much, Torren.
That's a nice information. They
Yeah.
don't share often this information before the race, what the secret, you know. And
I could do with a peanut butter.
open like this.
I wouldn't mind a peanut butter sandwich myself. So there's the standings at the end of lap 3, and it's definitely Romana Forcini keeping the pressure on Alexandra Keller. Just 11 seconds in it, Jose. This isn't over. And as you could see in that interview there, the rain is really coming down. And if there's anything that can turn this race on its head, it's that. Those cobblestones now are going to be treacherous on the way back down, and that's for sure.
And you know, it's also always complicated to have a rainy day like this, especially in summer. We didn't finish the summer, and you know, the riders since June they are racing always in dry conditions and high temperatures, and the
rain is really coming down, Jose. You can see it on that shot there. It's definitely going to affect parts of this course. As we said, the hard packed ground won't soften up in this race today. We're going to be left with a very, very slippery surface.
Yeah. That's going to affect the race, especially the wood section there, the downhill, and some of the drop where Giro crashed. Probably is going to be affected with the rain. But for the moment, Nicole Kohler just taking care of this corner. You know, cobblestone is quite slippery. Let's see. And the leader of the race, Alexandra Keller. Oh no, Ramona Forcini, sorry. Ramona Forcini in second position.
And these street routes all getting tricky now, unable to carry as much speed in with probably the wet routes getting slippery. So Forcini, a little mistake.
A little mistake, but it cost a lot of time, because she was close to Alexandra Keller. They cross each other.
Yeah.
Look at now the gap got increased with that little mistake.
Keller's so good technically though, isn't she?
Yeah,
Rarely you see a mistake from Alexandra Keller.
It's complicated. It's for example with Yolanda Neff you see a little bit more mistakes because she races more aggressive, but Keller is super safe in technical racing. See Nicole Kohler.
Yep, fighting for traction across there as well. The back wheel slipping.
With those,
didn't cause her any problems, but you really want to keep those feet up if you can.
And those nice wheels. Full carbon wheels in these sections probably sometimes is not the best option because they are super stiff wheels, but if it's getting wet it's going to be a good option. And then Ramona Forcini at the time they cross with Alexandra Keller, the leader of the race. Forcini solved the problem quite fast.
And Forcini, you know, she's third overall in the ÖKK Bike Revolution overall standings at the moment. Don't forget to join us next weekend on Red Bull TV for the finals from Hutwell, the hometown of Matthias Flückiger. But Serena Luger, the woman in second place, isn't here today. Hopefully she'll be recovered next week. Here comes Yolanda Neff. Yeah, what's going on screen here?
We saw a mistake from Lena Giraud. Second mistake we saw today for Lena Giraud. Then she got passed by the under-23 Fiona Schiebler, and Yolanda Neff profit the moment to catch back. So she's coming. She's coming. She's getting back strong.
And this is great
Yolanda
to see
Neff.
from Yolanda Neff, the going on bike.
Look at this. We can see.
Wow. Can you believe that then? Taking some time out of Keller on that split 2 on lap 3. Yeah, so, probably on the downhill, of course. Yes, it is on the downhill, yeah. But impressive, because we know that Yolanda is so good, and this wet conditions are only going to help her, as we saw, in Tokyo.
We saw that lap. In the beginning, she lost a lot with Keller, but at the end, the last split, only lose 1 second. So that means Yolanda Neff goes faster and faster each lap, or at least in this lap. And we can see
it reminds me of
Fiona struggling a little bit, and Yolanda Neff passing fast, and Lena Giraud keeping in front.
Giroux, remember, was a little bit further ahead, had a big crash off that wooden drop. Neff, though, definitely keen to stay on her wheel at the moment. Incredible stuff,
And we are only halfway. It's lap 4 of 8. Remember to everybody, we are at the ÖKK Bike Revolution in Gruyère. The girls, the women, they have to do 8 laps. Each lap is 2.7 kilometers. They started in dry conditions, and then suddenly, after lap 2, turned the weather, and now it's raining, and we see.
Neff's she wants to get to the front all of a sudden before this downhill. So good to see Jolanda Neff riding so actively, so progressively in this race.
Yeah, Neff is on fire.
Only been back on a bike 2 weeks. You can't expect much. Been in therapy for that kind of cramped vocal cord that's been given her such breathing difficulties, and we know from the interview we saw with her earlier that she will actually be doing, from what we gather from the therapy, it's like a lot of gurgling and making a lot of noises. It's kind of stuff that singers have to do and stuff like that. So different approach to her racing for Jolanda at the moment.
It's a strange training, because normally you want to get in shape or you want to get fitter, you're going to the gym.
That's right.
You never think about doing this kind of exercises, but
look how dark that's got there, Jose.
Yeah,
looks to me have definitely got a bit darker. I think these storms that we were talking about coming in later, well, they've arrived, but maybe not in their full force yet.
Now for the women, the race is on, so they cannot change. But for the men and the mechanics,
they've got they are different tyres.
Jumping and running for the men's category. But those girls, they have to race with their bike. They started the first lap. None of them change wheels. They can change wheels, in the feet on. Besides, you get your nutrition.
Is that something you see in a cross-country race sometimes? I guess the conditions would have to be extreme, right? Or
you see it because it's imperative. When you have a flat tire, you change the wheel.
Sorry, excuse me.
But you could change both wheels.
What I mean is to change,
like Formula 1. Yeah.
Yeah, you would. Do you ever see that in a cross-country race, that people stop and change wheels to get better tyres on for traction? Is that something? It would have to be extreme, right? They'd almost have to be unrideable parts of the course.
Yeah, it must be something really extreme. I think we never saw this, because nowadays the cross-country races, they are short. 1 hour 15,
and
1 hour 20.
The penalty to stop is too much.
In the old times, if they could do it, in the old times when the races, they were 2 hours, 2 hours 10, it makes sense to change. Okay, you lose maybe 1 minute, but then you can get the next hour, you can get profit out of it. But nowadays, I don't think so. Nobody's thinking on changing the wheels.
No, it doesn't seem to be. So the rain coming down in Gruyère. It's Alexandra Keller out front.
You see lap 4 of 8, 39 minutes of racing. Nicole Kohler.
Yeah.
Also close to pass the finish.
Out onto lap 5 now, actually, so the halfway mark really of this race.
And it's changing in positive for Alexandra Keller, is still in front.
Yes.
Started in front and continued in front, but for Jolanda Neff, it's changing the situation. She was in 10th position, now she's catching back. Also because the weather conditions.
Well, the first half of this race was driest. The second half of this race is going to be wet. Here comes the lead bike. Keller in the red's going to come into sight any second now. Here she is, the Thomas rider, the former World Cup winner of cross-country, Olympic and of short track, and in incredible form again this year.
It's the gap with Ramona Forchini is 31 seconds. If I'm honest, I think the gap increased with the mistake that Ramona Forchini made in the forest. But also Nicole Kohler is keeping that minute gap to Alexandra Keller.
And what a season she's having. A 6th in Maribor at round 1. Arasha, in Brazil.
Arasha.
She came 4th. Novia Mesto on the podium with a 3rd. Valdasoli, a bit of an off day before a 2nd place in Crans-Montana and a 3rd place in Leger. I mean, no wonder she's leading the World Cup. The consistency for Keller is insane.
Yeah, it's funny because it looked like Alexandra Keller had a bad season.
Yeah.
But it's not true.
No.
It's having a great season, leading the World Cups, podium in the World Cups, leading the ÖKK BIKE REVOLUTION. I mean, obviously everything is covered in the Olympic year is covered by the Olympics.
Yeah.
But she's having a great season.
Year, isn't it?
Great season, like in 2023 and 2022. Ramona Forchini now is getting more slippery in those rock sections. That was good. Good jump there. Going outside the corner, searching for lines. Nice. The berm, those berms, they are not complicated to make. It's just the section where they add some roots, some rocks. And here goes the drop. Perfect drop.
Yeah, impressive to see.
Yolanda Neff is getting a small gap with Lena Giraud. We can see some meters in front.
Those rocks are going to be slippery now, Jose. You need to be a little more careful on those.
More and more careful. But not only in the downhill, also in the uphills, in the cobblestone. You have to be always careful when you pedal, because even if you have a lot of power, it's you know, there is no traction, even in uphill.
So Alexandra Keller, third place at the moment for her there, flying through this section.
Ronja Wollinger.
The under-23 overall World Cup winner from last year, so probably shouldn't be so surprised to see her up the front. Working hard here at the moment, still there. In fourth place, first year elite, impressive.
She's covering the place of the other team members from the Leaf team, Indegar and Jackson. They are not racing here, but yeah, Ronja is making her job here, covering the image of the Leaf team. Yolanda Neff.
And these rocks are definitely getting slippery now.
So easy for Yolanda. Always well known, Yolanda Neff, for her skills.
Bella Moina coming out the top of that climb in 7th place at the moment, then the Ukrainian.
And now it's raining hard, huh?
Yeah, none of these riders are going to be loving these conditions. It's going to be a rough last half of this race for these women.
You see Bella Moina, 32 years old.
Took the overall World Cup win back in 2017.
And racing intelligent.
And some big injuries from since then as well along the way. But yeah, looking good at the moment. Recovering, she said in that interview, from the dreaded she picked up just before.
It's funny because in the first split, it's where all the riders, they lose a lot of time against Keller. Always 16, 17 seconds. But then at the end of the lap, they get reduced the gap. So that means at the end of the lap, always Alexandra Keller take it more easy, recovers a little bit, gets a little bit fresh air.
And then knows where to push and then to make the time.
Push again for the first quarter of the lap.
And the weather really bad now in Gruyère. Look at that.
Look at the corner. That's tricky.
Using all the track.
They need to find traction, and it's not even that they lose traction in the green area. They lose even traction here at those historical cobblestones. Imagine those cobblestones. They have been here for centuries. Centuries. They saw some horses, wars, cars,
now mountain bikes.
And now mountain bikes. So,
into this beautiful citadel. Yep, 11th century city of Gruyère, famous for its cheese, the most consumed cheese in Switzerland and most of Europe. Actually, very easily confused with Emmental. Yeah, I've been told. It even tastes quite close.
Because Emmental has holes and Gruyère not.
Is that right?
I don't know.
Neither of us are cheese experts.
We have to check. For me now, Gruyère is getting famous for the ÖKK Bike Revolution and for the castle.
Here's the lead rider then. Alexandra Keller going to be in the shot any second now.
4 laps to go. We can see in the motorbike that goes always in front, electric motorbike.
Oh.
Remember to all the spectators that this is a sustainable sport, you know.
Yes.
Mountain biking.
Absolutely.
Always, and it's getting close to the cities, it's getting close to the people. This is always important for us, for the mountain bike community.
Yeah, great to see these ÖKK Bike Revolution races generally usually start in a town, in a city centre. Quite unique, but as you said, I love to see the bicycles come through the town centres. Bring the mountain bike into the people. Here's Ficini, that gap getting a little bigger now.
It's getting bigger, just 38 seconds. The last gap we had, it was 31 seconds, so 7 seconds extra for Ramona Forchini.
And we're going to hear from Forchini, any second now. But a strong ride for her there. Sitting in second place at the moment.
The first time here in Gruyère, and it's a really nice place. It's fantastic to race here in this special village. For us, it's really nice to have a series in Switzerland like this, so it's really important also for the young guns. Yeah, really cool. Today I will go full gas. I have only this option because it's a really fast track, I think, with a lot of zigzag. So I think we have to be in the front and go full gas.
Nice comment from Ramona Forchini. Always a race is a full gas. But for sure today it was important for her. It's fighting for the ÖKK Bike Revolution series. Actually, Alexandra Keller, the rider we see on our screen, is the leader of the series, but Ramona Forchini is second. As long Serena Flückiger is not taking place at this race. So Ramona Forchini is trying to get as maximum points as possible. And as she mentioned a pretty cool thing, that those races are so important for the young generation, for the young Swiss riders. And she's happy also. So she's the kind of rider that looks for herself and also looks for the future. And yeah, she mentioned that those ÖKK Bike Revolution are so important for all of them.
Well, they really are. You know, it's a great platform for, as you say, the younger up-and-coming riders to really get stuck in and be on the track at the same time as the world's elite, the world's best. This camber's starting to get a little slippery as well along there. Forchini balancing.
Yeah.
Look at, hey, whoa. Now that has given us our first indication of exactly how slippery that is out there, and it is absolutely treacherous. So
now it's getting creamy, all the corners, and as we mentioned, all the riders, they start with a intermediate tire, because you are always scared to use the really mud tire. The really mud tire is a pretty heavy tire with a lot of big knobs. Even the rubber is soft.
It doesn't roll well.
It doesn't roll well. So as a rider, you are always scared to use the super tacky, super muddy tires.
But this is so slippery.
Yeah.
Look, both wheels just drifting. Oh my goodness me! That's a gear problem?
Shifting? It is gear shifting.
I thought she was wheel spinning. I think the gears were jumping there. Wow, she's got some horsepower.
Yeah. So now all the riders that we have, they are problem for flat tire.
Is it or is it a tyre change? It's a knobbier tyre down. I think she is changing her wheel to get more front end traction. Now you can probably put up with the rear wheel slipping around. Yeah, more aggressive tread. Yeah, but you cannot. No one on earth can put up with a front wheel sliding away. You're going down. So she's changed the wheel she needed to. It was the quicker of the two wheels to change. And Forchini is back in the game, albeit perhaps with less traction now.
That's a brave move from Alexandra Keller, only having 36 seconds gap.
But we saw, just before that, we saw just how slippery this course is. I mean, I actually didn't credit it with being that slippery until I saw Forchini and Keller, on that turn, Collar on that turn, and then there's absolutely no traction on. So it's a lot of this course.
It's a smart move from Team Thomas to offer Alexandra Keller more.
Clever move, huh?
Yeah, clever move. Look at this more narrow tire, more for muddy section. Actually, the rear tire keeps the rear tire with its intermediate. That you can survive with a rear tire.
You can survive. That's exactly it. But the front tire, very difficult to survive with something with zero traction.
Not only for the downhills you need this kind of tire. We saw it in Ramona Forchini and Nicole Kohler. Just in a flat section with a small corner, with a little bit creamy corner, you get in trouble. So clever move from Alexandra Keller, and then that shows that Alexandra Keller is not racing 120% at the moment, and she's not completely hectic. At the moment, she can think, so that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, she's fresh. When you do these moves, you do it when you are fresh, not when you are on the limit. And we see our Yolanda Neff.
Let's hear from Ramona Forchini's team then. She's sat in second place, just 21 seconds back at the moment.
And now with with me Lisa Broder, the Vice Team Manager of Forchini Ramona. So, Lisa, we didn't expect anything like that, did you?
No, we didn't. We have had a look on the weather forecast and we are still hopeful that it holds for the ladies' race. We think on the men's race we have rain, but not yet. But Ramona has the wet tires from Chaoyang on, and that's the right tire choice we had for that. She's a little bit afraid when the stones come slippery, but actually I think she holds the second place if nothing happens. So we're looking forward to a second place by her.
You've seen her going by. Do you think she's still strong and confident?
Yes, I think she makes a good. She looks good, so I think she can hold this 20 minutes the place. Yes, and her success. So I think, and I hope for her, of course. She had not had the best season after her crash in Monte Tamaro. She lost the races in Brazil. So she come back now stronger than I think. The Worlds was not so good with the race was mixed with the under 23. Otherwise, I think she's a little bit more in front when she can start on her right position in this race. But now she looks out. She can be behind Alessandra and she can hold the position.
Perfect. Thank you, Lisa. Back to you.
Yeah, thank you, Lisa, for some incredible insight there. And look at the weather now as we look at Nicole Koller coming through, sat in third place at the moment, but the heavens have opened in Gruyère.
Wow, for an unexpected weather, as she mentioned, now it's Mordor.
Yeah, this is it. And actually, you know, Lisa, they're saying that the weather might hold. I mean, I don't know if she means it's going to be a lot worse in the men's fight, in the men's this afternoon, because all this weather was supposed to come in a lot later in the day. It's come early, and thunderstorms, we're not quite sure what we're in store for now. Jolanda Neff, the 2020 Olympic champion.
Look at this
continuing to ride forwards.
Get the skill from Jolanda Neff, and also Ronja, look at this. But, you know, at this point, it's better that it rains a lot. Because then it's no mud. It's always the water moving.
Yeah,
and you have better grip in the tires.
Yeah, absolutely. What Jose means is there's plenty of mud. And usually that mud, that slime will get carried onto the rocks and stuff. But when it rains this hard, everything gets washed clean. Yeah. And actually there is still, on certain parts of the track, you know, a decent amount of traction.
Even if you made a mistake of tires, the tires, they are always clean.
Yeah, they're clean, that's right.
You have some grip. So at the moment, but look at the times. 50 minutes for 5 laps for Alexandra Keller, but then the gap to Ramona Forchini is 21 seconds. Let's see after the front-rear change if this gap increase. But the one that is catching time is Jolanda Neff. She was at more than 35 seconds to third position. That's Nicole Koller, and now it's only 19 seconds to Nicole Koller. So Jolanda Neff, attention, she can catch back and be fighting for fight for the podium.
Amazing, up to fourth place then, Neff. Yeah, amazing to see Jolanda Neff coming through like this. Remember, been out of action all year. Really had a couple of good rides in the first 2 World Cups down in South America, but then kind of disappeared with this breathing problem, the cramped. As we believe, muscle that is your vocal cord, inflamed, taking a lot of rehabilitation to get it right. Neff started slower than we'd usually see her, but now she is all out and up to fourth place. This is your leader, Alexandra Keller.
I don't see such a difference between dry and wet conditions for Alexandra Keller.
Forchini coming through the same section now.
Forchini, some problems there with the pedal and keep pedal. Oh, again, now it's super slippery for Forchini.
Well, we heard the team manager there, Lisa, saying that Forchini will be cautious on the rocky sections. Doesn't sound like she likes the slipperiness. So let's hope she can hold on to second place there, though. Koller a little way back as they went through that last split. But you can't afford too much of this. This is serious time going by.
Yeah, it's the gap is increasing a lot, and now every time you jump out of the bike, the seconds they drop by 10, 5 seconds. He is losing a lot of time, and probably is because she's tired also, but also the tires. And also there are some riders that they prefer these conditions, some not. Some they feel comfortable to improvise all the time. When it's Look at this.
Yes.
We talk about Yolanda Neff catching time to Nicole Koller. And
caught a glimpse of the blonde hair of Yolanda Neff there, and that was the gap to that woman. Koller goes through in third place. Wow, that'd be incredible for Yolanda Neff. And knowing the competitor that she is, she's going to really go for Nicole Koller now in these last few laps here in Gruyère. ÖKK Bike Revolution Round 4.
And for sure it's a big step for Yolanda Neff in her recovery to get back to the top elite riders. And we see the race a little bit Yolanda Neff, you know, starting in front, dropping to 10th position and then catching back. Yeah.
Is that from the tyre change, that 15 seconds?
That's the tyre. That's the last lap. That's from the last lap. We can see that the gap got reduced 15 seconds to Alexandra Keller, but because Alexandra Keller took a right decision to change the front wheel in these weather conditions.
Basically a Formula One pit stop from from dries to slick. From slicks to wet.
It's only
excuse me.
She lost only 15 seconds.
That's
from the gap.
yeah.
That's fast.
Yeah, that is fast. Still jumping down through these logs.
And look at this.
Treacherous now, though, those parts of the course.
Having a wet condition tire in front allows you to ride more confident in those tricky sections.
Allows you to steer. It allows you to turn the bars and the bike follows. Quite nice.
And I see Alexandra Keller back again. But even if she's the whole time in front, the gap is always close to Ramona Forchini.
Yeah.
You know? Ramona loses catches.
I feel like, though, with this front tyre now that we know that Keller fitted, she's going to be gone. You know, and it feels like Forchini's not a massive fan of the wet conditions from what we gathered from her team manager, and we are seeing Forchini struggle on some of the more technical parts of the track now. They're wet. Keller, look at her just threading the needle down there, hopping out over the last couple. Here's Forchini.
Now we see Ramona Forchini riding more cautious.
Yeah.
More aware about the wet surface.
Let's see how slippery this section is. Keller managed to ride it, and already Forchini having to get her foot out.
The off-camber, it's where you see a big difference, you see?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely a great choice from Alexandra Keller, and Ramona Forchini is suffering from the tires.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's right. Unable to get any traction with that front end and turn it back up that hill. So Forchini losing some time here.
But losing this time, attention, it's in danger, the second position,
Yeah.
with Yolanda Neff and Nicole Koller.
Yeah, this might all come together on the last couple of laps that are now rapidly coming round. Lap 6, remember.
Yolanda Neff and Nicole Koller, they are coming like real lions.
And Forchini look cleverly staying off the slippery dirt and on the grass there. Oh, Koller off as well.
Koller having problems with the tires too, with the traction.
So everyone except Alexandra Keller having to get off and ride that section. I wouldn't mind betting that even Yolanda, I was about to say, I wouldn't mind betting that Yolanda Neff will ride it. Even Yolanda Neff has had to get off on that part. That is serious then, if you see.
In these conditions, one smart move is to remove a little bit air.
Yeah.
If you don't have wheels ready, or you don't want to lose a lot of time to change both wheels. Yeah, exactly. You stop, you just remove a little bit air, so you get a little bit more surface.
Yeah.
Obviously, you compromise a little bit to get a puncture, but having all those green sections, even going up, if you get more surface of the tire, you have better traction, more traction, and then you can save a little bit the situation. But at the moment, if everybody runs, everybody is losing the same time. You know, it's no losing time. You see Nicole Koller
really closing in on Koller now. You can see her across the top there.
Ooh, that's a tricky corner.
So Neff has got a perfect target for these last sort of 2 and a bit laps now. Koller right there for Yolanda Neff. Can she get on the back wheel of her? Can she overtake her for a fine third? Can she get to Ramona Forchini, in second place at the moment? Keller is long gone out front.
For sure she can.
But I think she can as well.
Nicole Koller also can keep the position. She's good. She has experience also. You know, when you win the Cape Epic stage race so many days, you suffer every day. And here it's more or less like a stage marathon. You know, it's you suffer. There are different conditions. You have to improvise. And Nicole Koller has experience also to be in front. Probably I'm sure Nicole Koller can defend the position, but I have my doubts about Ramona Forchini that is still in second position. But time is dropping. The gap is increasing to Alexandra Keller, and Nicole Koller and Yolanda Neff. They have their own fight, and that makes that they go ahead. They go always to the front. They can see each other. Nicole Koller is full focus, not looking behind. Alexandra Keller is looking a lot behind.
Is it mentally hard in a race when you start in the dry and the rain comes down? I mean, is that can definitely be a mental challenge? I suppose it depends how comfortable you are riding in.
Yeah, that depends how comfortable. There are some riders they like rain, some not. We have an interview ahead.
Yeah, we're going to hear from Alexandra Keller's team.
Lieber Felix, we are here with Felix Klein now, mechanics from Alessandra. So we saw that you changed the wheel. Why did you do that?
Yeah, the weather condition changed, and we want that she could ride safe, and now we change it.
So the advantage for her is exactly what?
Yeah, that she can ride the 2 laps when it rains, like clear and with grip. With the other tires, she had not so many grip, and yeah, we changed it for that reason.
So it's worth doing that and losing that few seconds, exactly.
Yeah, we told her if she wants, and she wants to change it, and she had a gap, so all good.
Thank you, Felix.
Great communication in the Tomus team, and also, completely trust Yolanda Neff in her mechanic.
Yeah.
And that's important also. The team, the results, they always come. A big percentile from the riders, but also for the teams. And they took the right decision. They believe in the decision they took. And look, it's looking good.
That's right. So Keller being chased by this woman, Alexandra Keller. We just saw there in the red, lap 7 and 8, the penultimate lap. They're a fair way into it now. Forchini still there in second place, but coming under more and more pressure from Nicole Koller, and Yolanda Neff there in 4th place, the 2020 Olympic champion, also finding some strength in the closing stages of this race here in Gruyère.
And also with a few weeks of proper training, as she mentioned. So we know the talent of Yolanda Neff.
There is Yolanda Neff. You can see in the bottom of the picture now, looking like she's almost on the wheel of Nicole Koller. Next it will be Forchini.
Now for both of them there is a rush of motivation, because they know that they just need to finish this climb, go over this wood platform, downhill, and then they are at the same place as Ramona Forchini. So for them, they took a little bit the gap, and they know that they are around 30 seconds gap to Ramona Forchini.
And I wouldn't mind betting that Neff closes this gap right up now on this very short descent, but Neff is so skilled. Watch this. Yeah. Can she get on the wheel now? Of Koller rides into the top with some intent. Maybe too short for her to really make any inroads, but Neff absolutely supremely skilled on these descents.
It's funny, it's cutting the corners. When it was dry, she used the external
the
line,
outsides,
the outside, and now look at this. She's going faster and faster, cutting the corners. And now look, the gap got reduced to Nicole Koller. She had 20 seconds.
This last year's under-23 World Cup overall winner, Ronja Blocklinger, the Live Factory racing rider there, in 5th place at the moment, showing she can mix it with the best elites in the world.
Yeah, for sure.
Strong ride, great to see her.
And she's racing completely alone the whole race. This is also important always to take care about, For all of those riders, it's complicated because you never know if you are fast or slow. And it's a great race for Ronja also.
Yeah, absolutely so. Well, the men's race is coming up after this, actually pretty much straight away after this. That's going to be interesting conditions, I would say, for that.
Lena Giraud, the beginning of the race, she was in front, quite in front now. She dropped to 6th position and is battling with Fiona Schibler, the rider we see at the end of our screen. Oh, she escaped the jump where in the first lap crashed Lena Giraud, and Fiona Schiebler took the gap. So it's different lines.
Up to the castle again.
For Ronja Böcklinger.
Still looking strong, still plenty of power in those legs, working it out at the top here. Great to see so many people enjoying the racing in these city centres as well. A big weekend festival, the younger categories racing all day Saturday. We had the Gusto ride as well. Big group ride for everyone to get involved in.
Still 1 lap and a half to go for Ronja Böcklinger and also Alexandra Keller. But at the moment...
fair climb this one, goes on and on.
That's a long climb, that's a long climb. And you can't deliver all your power because it's a cobblestone, wet cobblestone, and it's a slippery, not much traction. So at the moment, but the warm of the spectators, even if it's raining, push you a little bit, help you a little bit to go up and continue pushing. We see the motorbike, probably Alexandra Keller was coming against Ronja. But now we have a long follow to Ronja and
well, there's Jolanda Neff just making light work of one of the most difficult parts of the track. And is she in front? Yes. She is. Yes, Jose. So Jolanda Neff now up to 3rd place. It's Romana Focchini now, the next rider on her hit list. Somewhere up the track a little bit now, Focchini, but Neff, she's really ridden herself into this race.
Neff is back.
Neff is back. That's the way to put it, man. That's it.
Neff is back in all terms, you know, today and also in terms of shape. It's helping a lot for her, for sure, when it's raining, because as I mentioned before, the speed goes a little bit down, it's more skills. It's less hectic for the breathing, you know, and probably is helping. But for sure, Neff is back, and Alexandra Keller is keeping in front. For her, nothing is changing, just taking the proper decision. Then she changed the wheel when rough conditions, weather conditions.
No, look at this. Look how dark it is. Horrendous conditions there in Switzerland.
For the men's, it's going to be really dark and wet. Ramona Focchini trying to save the 2nd position.
Over the minute now, though. Look at that. So that tyre change for Keller. She lost a bit of time, 15 seconds. Focchini actually back in sight of her, but look at the damage she's done in the last couple of laps. With that...
When Keller changed the wheel, Focchini was at 21 seconds.
Yeah.
And just changing the wheel, having a better traction in front, more safe in all the corners, even in climbing, we could see the technique and the skills from Alexandra Keller. Now the gap is 1:06 seconds, and it's going to continue growing the gap for sure, because there's still 1 more lap to go. And look at the riding style from Alexandra Keller. Alexandra Keller is really good in muddy conditions. We know this. But even if you take the right decision during the race, and let's say that it's unbeatable at the moment, Alexandra Keller.
She's good in all conditions, yeah, that's for sure. Former World Cup overall winner, leading this year's overall. Look at this. And you can't ride along there that quickly, really, without some traction on that front wheel. Looking like Collar staying with Jolanda Neff now.
Now for Keller, it's important to stay here with Jolanda at least half lap.
Yeah.
Because Jolanda is motivated now. So if you keep the wheel of Jolanda Neff, maybe you have the chance to fight in the last lap for the 3rd position. But if you leave Jolanda Neff for some meters, then Jolanda Neff is going to get more and more motivated, and it's going to go till the end for this 3rd position. Ronja Böcklinger keeping the speed.
5th place at the moment then,
5th place.
First year elite rider. Having a strong ride here though for 5th place today.
Super strong ride.
Brutal track. Nowhere to rest on it really. The descents are short, the climbs are punchy.
It's not a place where you leave your leg just spinning and recovering. It's always pushing. And when it's downhill, it's tricky downhill. Now we see Alexandra Keller. We like that you watch the difference between both tires. You see a muddy condition tire never gets mud in the side.
No,
it's always clean in front. And in the rear tire, that is not a muddy condition tire, you can see that the side of the tire, it's always with muddy. It's dirty, exactly. You see the difference? Obviously.
Nothing is slowing Keller down here today, though. Look at this, just stomping on forward. It's going to be last lap, any moment now. Big race, 1 hour 11 on the clock. Conditions changing around the midpoint.
One more lap.
Rain coming down, making it a slightly longer race, I think, than we might have seen, of course. But here's Fokini.
One more lap, it's going to be 1 hour 24, yeah?
And Fokini now really battling with these conditions. I wonder if Jolanda Neff can get anywhere near her now. Last lap then.
Last lap for Alexandra Keller, the leader of the ÖKK Bike Revolution, and also today's leader from the first lap. Took the leader position, not leaving the leader position even when it started to rain, even changing a wheel for muddy conditions. Always a leader in the race, and yeah, one more lap for Alexandra Keller. And in second position, Ramona Forchini.
And Keller, the most successful, as you'd imagine, the series champion of the ÖKK Bike Revolution the last 2 years, the only 2 years of this still relatively new series. But yeah, leading again this year as well. 5 ÖKK Bike Revolution wins to her in her career.
It's new, but it's growing year by year in terms of riders, courses, also coverage, TV coverage with us.
Last lap then. It's going to feel good here in that battle in these conditions.
Keeping the gap, 1:03.
Fokini.
Yeah, Fokini is keeping the gap. Actually, she got 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Last lap was the last gap was 1:06, 1:03. It's keeping the position.
The high tempo of Jolanda Neff then coming in on this last lap in third. Might be a battle, I think, between her and Nicole Koller. Koller has not let her ride away from her.
At the moment, Ramona Forchini is profiting from this situation, you know. They are just looking to each other, so they are not pushing to the limit, and Ramona Forchini can enjoy this moment to keep in front the second position. If continued like this, they are just fighting for the third position. It's 57 seconds. 57 seconds to Ramona Forchini. Even 1 minute to Ramona Forchini is. They are fighting just for a third position at the moment.
Yeah, I think so.
Keller and Jolanda Neff.
They won't pull that sword time back in the lap. Not unless Fokini has an incident, which isn't impossible now, of course.
But everything can happen in these conditions. Wow, it's just small mistake in a corner with the muddy conditions and the gap gets reduced. So you have to be always focused till the end. You could see Keller facing this downhill, but at the same time we saw a little bit short Ramona Forchini going up. So they see each other, but the gap is big. The gap is 1 minute and 3 seconds. It looks like it's raining a little bit less than before.
Yeah, it does look that way, yeah.
It's a little bit windy, so when it's windy, the clouds, they move a little bit. They move the rain, but still, now the conditions, they are wet for everybody and slippery everywhere.
Stunning course here, running around the mountain, the hill that Gruyère sits on top of, or at least the castle part of it does. Keller, look at the strength on this last lap.
Last time they go over this castle, but the corner was perfect corner from Alexandra Keller.
So much power in those legs, hey? Other riders coming up out of their last lap now then. Lena Giroux, Fiona Schlibler, the top under 23 rider there in 7th place at the moment.
Keeping the position, the young rider. She was moving from 6 to 7, 7 to 6. It's a great result for her. And especially racing in the elite category, the same laps and at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's good for them, for the young generation, to get motivated. And to know that they can make it also. They can be in front. And they can, they can follow probably their idol, Alexandra Keller, as you mentioned, one of the most successful riders in Switzerland. Jolanda Neff and Nicole Koller.
Koller going back in front of Jolanda Neff then. Well, I'm sure Jolanda wouldn't have let that happen if she didn't, and especially into a descent as well.
Yeah.
Neff looking happy enough just to sit there at the moment. Still, you know, absolutely kind of experimental for Jolanda to see where she is after that
Remember that Yolanda made a big effort to catch Nicole Koller, and now probably is trying to recover a little bit.
Yeah.
That's why she didn't fight to get in front of the downhill. You are not always fresh as you expect. But let's see, Yolanda is recovering.
Right
for
there,
sure.
though. Yeah, right on the wheel. So let's see how this one unfolds.
I believe that position for Yolanda Leff is also good for her, because coming from the last month not racing properly to now fighting for a podium race.
Incredible.
I think she's happy, but knowing Yolanda, she's going to fight for the third position for sure. And Nicole Koller going through those technical sections. So easy, so many skills. But she don't feel the difference between wet and dry, I think.
Doesn't seem to, eh?
Especially when she changed the tire. Now she's riding more or less in the same time. Look at this. Confident, easy, just checking the line, searching for just put this.
Little dab, didn't lose much forward momentum there though.
Just riding safe. Big gap for her. 1 minute and 3 seconds the last time they passed. Oh, big difference.
Bikini deciding to get off. I don't blame her one bit. Losing less time like that than making a mistake midway through it, that's for sure.
We could see the different tires and also speed. Alexandra Keller arrived there, faced the technical section with more speed, so you go over the roots and the rocks easily. And you are so slow, everything gets more bumpy, more tricky.
Yeah.
And even if you have the wrong tires, then it's nearly impossible to go.
Looking a bit brighter now though, Jose. The rain looking like it has eased at least now. Bikini fighting her way forwards on foot or on wheel, doesn't matter. Got to get her to that finish line.
She has a big gap to the fourth position.
It's been another tour de force from Alexandra Keller though. Dominant, stopping only once to change that front wheel. A great decision. She did let Bikini back into the race a little bit, but managed to ride away again to a commanding gap at the moment. Here is Nicole Koller.
Wow, the speed.
Chased by Yolanda Neff, and Neff's going to get bulked on that one. They're in, that's the battle for third place there.
Yolanda got a little bit block in this section.
Neff on that inside line there, little technical bit at the end of that, tighter turn for her.
But she reacted pretty fast.
But Koller making a mistake there, and Koller actually gaining the advantage.
Yeah.
That's racing.
Yolanda, when you are so fast and you arrive from behind, you never expect that the guy in front makes a mistake, or the girl in front makes a mistake.
Long climb now. So, can Neff get back on a Koller's back wheel here? That was a pretty... she gained a lot of time there, but look at Neff motoring up here and visibly gaining on Koller. Wow, Neff, look at this from Yolanda.
One more extra effort for Yolanda Neff to catch Nicole Koller.
That high cadence of Yolanda, spinning that low gear and working. Can she get on the back wheel of Koller here before the top of this climb? I think she will. I think she's going to buzz right by her if Koller can react.
Needs to catch Nicole Koller because she's fighting for her third position. Nicole Koller is also fighting to be in front.
Oh, she is, yep. Well, look at this Neff up out of the saddle now, trying to get across. Remember, Yolanda only back on a bike 2 weeks after that breathing difficulty she's been suffering from with her vocal cord giving her some problems, but looking like she's coming back, Jose, and that's great to see.
Yeah, but that's a brutal climb.
It is a big climb, yeah.
Look at the spin.
And Koller now has responded, and Koller is opening the gap up again.
Again, yeah. And Neff catch some seconds, but now Koller reacted to the attack of Yolanda Neff and is getting back those seconds. Now it's 5 seconds to each other. Look at this. Yolanda Neff is fighting, using all the gears. So that shows us how steep is this climb, and we didn't see it before. Or we didn't realize that it was so steep till now. Look at this speed, and Nicole Koller making the last push.
Yep, deciding I want third place.
She's fighting for third place.
And perhaps getting it on that climb there.
A little bit recovery here for Nicole Koller. And
Neff blew up. Neff's blown up on that climb. Well, she put the effort in, she tried. What did she have to lose?
Oh.
But yeah, she's hurting now. Well, remember, we know I don't know how you can even race a bike like with breathing difficulties.
Here we see the key moment of the race in this last lap, fighting for the third position. At that point, they were together fighting for third position. Then,
and Yolanda a little bit further back in the route, having to dismount. Those couple of seconds getting off, getting back on, allowed that gap to close. Open up, excuse me. She did almost close it on that climb, but the effort just too much for Yolanda today.
The reaction of Yolanda Neff wasn't as quick as Nicole Koller after the route. And we could see that Nicole Koller took a small gap. And as you mentioned, Yolanda Neff tried to close the gap for a while, but then realized that Nicole Koller is stronger at the moment. And last downhill for Yolanda Neff, and last uphill for the leader of ÖKK Bike Revolution, Alexandra Keller. Last time she passes the feed zone. Just looks like comfortable.
Turning that massive gear. Yeah. It's been an unbelievable ride for her. The series champion the last 2 years, the only 2 years of the championship. This will be her 6th ÖKK Bike Revolution race win today.
And she's going to extend with today's victory. She's going to extend the gap in the overall.
I would say going to be unbeatable now in this series then this year. It's going to be her 3rd title probably. Here comes Alexandra Keller, then another dominant performance, start to finish. A smile creeps across her face. The rain came down halfway through this race. It didn't interfere with her one little bit. Alexandra Keller wins the ÖKK Gruyère round. One more to go in Hurtwell next week. That will be a lap of honour for Alexandra Keller.
Fresh Alexandra Keller, smart Alexandra Keller.
Brilliant ride from her, yeah.
That was a nice ride from her.
There's only one way that she approaches races.
Yeah.
And that's to go as fast as she can from the start
from the start till the end.
Every time, and it works for her. And it's been a brilliant ride as well for Ramona Fachini. I don't think the rain helped her effort, but still a brilliant ride for her to come up. Former marathon world champion, showing us she can definitely mix it with the best in the world over the shorter distance as well.
And Ramona Fachini that repeats the same result like as in Davos, 2nd position, and probably steps in the 2nd position in the overall.
That's right, with Serena Luger missing, absent today with illness. Hopefully we'll see her in Hurtwell next week. Remember, join us for that on Red Bull TV. Bringing it down to less than a minute.
Yeah.
A gap in the end.
Even catch a little bit time to Alexandra Keller, but the key point of the race was when Alexandra Keller switched the wheel or changed the wheel for a wet condition wheel, front wheel, and then the gap got extended to 1 minute. And more than half of the race was always keeping that minute gap. Alexandra Keller to finish the race winning this ÖKK Bike Revolution in Gruyère. And the 3rd position for Nicole Koller. Fight till the end with Yolanda Neff.
Yeah.
Good race, good race.
Resisted the attack on that last big climb up through the town centre.
And it was a big attack from Yolanda Neff to catch the 3rd position, but completely explosion from Yolanda Neff and Nicole Koller. The reaction was strong enough to keep the 3rd position for Nicole Koller, sorry.
Great ride for her. What a way to spend a Sunday afternoon. 2 minutes back in the end for Koller.
The faces of the effort.
That was a hard one.
That was a really hard one. Just because it's a race, but also because the weather conditions changed dramatically in lap 2 from dry conditions to rain conditions. And 4th position for Yolanda Neff.
Well, a good ride for Yolanda, as we said, coming back to form, struggling this year with some health issues. But Neff, great to see her back racing, great to see her smiling at the end of the race as well.
Kind of a smile, because you could see that it was really hard race for her.
She'll be back though, she's incredible, isn't she?
She's back, she's back. This afternoon she's going to realize that she made a super good race, fighting for the 3rd position till the end.
Yeah, that's right.
Obviously, because the effort blow up a little bit in the end, but the important thing is that Yolanda Neff is back.
What a fighter she is, yep, that's right.
And 5th position for Ronia Lollinger.
That's right. So first-year elite rider, Ronja Flückiger. Great ride for her today. 5th place today for her. Strong ride. Just ahead of Giroux, who may have finished a little further up the order, the top non-Swiss finisher.
Yep. And
just
probably
over the border in France.
For her, the key point of the race was when she crashed. Actually crashed 2 times, 2 big mistakes, and then she was more or less out of the race. But in the first moment, it was together with Alexandra Keller. And in 7th position, we see how the young rider arrives. Fiona Schiebler.
Yeah.
First year in under 23. Last year was a junior. This year under 23. And thanks to ÖKK Bike Revolution that decided to start together elite riders and under 23 riders, we could discover the level of Fiona Schiebler.
Schiebler there is the under 23 winner today there, finishing in 7th place in the elite. Well, we're going to hear from our winner, Alexandra Keller now. Took another massive step towards her 3rd ÖKK Bike Revolution title. Here she is.
Alexandra Keller, amazing race. Not only did you win today, but also the overall win is now yours. How happy are you about that?
It's very cool to win here in, the French part of Switzerland. So honestly, all the fans were cheering so loud for me. And I really like the ÖKK Bike Revolution, to be honest. It's cool racing. And it's good preparation for the North American trip in the World Cup. I mean, that's the overall goal. So here I try to maintain the gap to the rest. And then, it started raining and we decided to change the tires during the race. So that cost me a little bit of advantage to the rest, but still it was enough, yeah.
So did you have the overall win in your mind? Did you realize it already?
No, I didn't realize it yet until you told me, but I guess, I did all the races and I already won. I think this is the 3rd now, so the internationals are not always here. It's a Swiss racing series, so that's why it's cool to actually win it in the 3rd time in a row, yeah?
Exactly, we have still 1 race ahead, Huttwil. How will you approach Huttwil then?
I mean, Huttwil's going to be another training race. It's close to where I actually live. I can go there by bike basically, and then just have fun, be an idol for the little ones as well, and then just train as good as possible towards the North American trip.
Amazing as always. Thank you, Alexandra Keller.
Thank you.
When you have your homeworks done, it's easy to go to the races for training.
That's right. So you're going to ride to the next one, the 3rd ÖKK Bike Revolution title in the bag. Alexandra Keller dropping that worst result of the year, sees her take the win. And as we said, it will be a lap of honour for her in Huttwil next weekend, that one on Red Bull TV, next Sunday around the same time. And a spectacular track as well, that one.
For sure, it's going to be one more show that all the riders they will deliver to us, and Alexandra Keller for sure. I'm not thinking that Alexandra Keller is going to come to Woodville just for training.
No.
Because the last time she said this was in Davos, and she won the race absolutely.
Yeah, I think you're
dominating the race.
Well, nearly a minute back to Ramona Focchini. Collar comes in nearly 2 minutes back. Jolanda Neff, a big effort on that last lap. Ended up a bit further off Collar than she might have done. Fiona Schiebler there, the top under 23 finisher in 7th place ahead of Jana Bella Moina. But great race, difficult conditions. Men's coming up, Jose. That's going to be good.
Yeah, but for the men's, it's going to be a little bit more easy because they know that it's muddy. They don't have to think about change a wheel like Alexandra Keller made in a smart way. So for the men's, it's easy.
So Alexandra Keller can't be caught now. Going to drop that 250 points. So, good to see it. Luga and Focchini there, a real battle for 2nd place there.
Yeah, they have to battle next week for those small points. We have to remember that in the ÖKK Bike Revolution, you can reduce, you can cancel one of the worst results from all 5 races. But still they are together, so they have to cancel one result and they have the chance to step in second position as Alexandra Keller is the winner already of the ÖKK Bike Revolution 2024.
Amazing to see, yeah. Giroux putting some scores on the board today.
Pelomoina 21 at the overall classification. And Yolanda Neff step up quite a lot with today's result, 4th position. But especially on her way to a recovery, it was a bigger step. And this is what we need. Gruyère, eine fondue. We need eine fondue with the cheese like we see in that terrace. That's a good way to recovery after a race. I guess all the riders, they will try to get at least one piece of those, one piece of bread with
and
cheese.
It's still absolutely pouring there. We're going to hear from Yolanda Neff now. A great comeback ride for her today here.
Now all the men, they are already warming on the rollers. The mechanics, they took the decision to change tires, so for them it's going to be much, much easier.
But here's the 2020 Olympic champion.
Yolanda Neff, back here in Switzerland. So tell us about your race. The start was really strong, but then you fell back somehow. What happened?
Nothing happened. I had a good start. I was really happy about that. And the first part of the first half maybe was pretty hard. And as soon as it started raining, I felt a lot better. And then the second half of the race was actually quite good, and I started to catch people and was feeling a lot better. And the second part was really nice.
So nobody really thought that the rain would come in that early. How tough was the race out there with all the rain and the changing conditions?
Not tough, like I really liked the rain, but for sure it changed a lot. The parkour, the track was very, very slippery, especially on the grass, the corners, and I think nobody had wet tires on. So it really changed the course a lot. Also in the city, the little rocks, the cobblestones were quite slippery, so it changed a lot, but I actually liked that.
So we have one more race in the ÖKK Bike Revolution. Will we see you again next week in Huttwil?
For now, it's the plan that I'm coming. I hope I can have a good week of training, and then hopefully I will be there next Sunday.
Congrats on that strong race.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yolanda confirms. When it started to rain for her, it was much better.
Well, she absolutely loves the weather. It's been an amazing women's race. That's only half the story. The men are coming up shortly from Gruyère. Very difficult conditions. The rain's coming down still. Jose, it's going to be a good one. We'll see you in around 15-20 minutes, I believe, for the men's race. See you then.
See you.
Wieso ich für einen, der nicht auf dem Velosattel sitze, sondern auf dem Balanceboard stehe, erfährst du in der Videoserie von der ÖKK.
Willst auch du im Balance bleiben? Dann mach mit bei der Verlosung und gewinn mit ein bisschen Glück ein Balanceboard.
Nicht alle haben einen persönlichen Velomech wie ich, aber meine Versicherung, die ÖKK, zahlt die Hälfte an deinen Veloservice.
Okay, look. Born sinner, go figure. Keep trying to go toe to toe with you. They talking like you just a gold digger. Nah, I know you always been a go getter. Better than my last. You get in the dome better than my last. You can hit the pole better than my last.
Hello, good afternoon and welcome to round 4, the penultimate stop of the ÖKK Bike Revolution series for 2024. We're in a wet and wonderful Gruyère in the west side of Switzerland, not far actually from Lake Geneva in the French border. And the men are about to take to the track. I'm Rob Warner alongside Jose Hamida. Jose, we saw the rain come down in the women's race we just watched. It changed the track massively. This, I think, is going to be pretty spectacular. They've already taken a lap off right for the men. It was 9, now it's down to 8.
Yes, hello. Thanks, Rob, for the introduction. Yes, as you mentioned, during the race, the women's race started to rain and then changed dramatically the course. And the good thing is that the men's elite riders, they know this, so they took all the necessary wheels and tires they need for this course in wet conditions, and we will see today.
And there it is, Lake Geneva there, over there on the left of the screen. But we are focusing on the mountain biking in Gruyère, a beautiful track that loops around the mountain here. The castle on top, plenty of short, punchy climbs, and plenty of difficult, especially now it's wet like this one here. This is from earlier in the week, of course. Descents that are going to be pretty tricky today, I would say, Jose.
Yeah, punchy climbs, as you mentioned, but in wet conditions, they are not much punchy like this one. Now in wet conditions, those cobblestones, they don't allow you to give all the power
no,
you need.
You'll spin up.
So you spin up, so you need to find the balance between push and stay with grip. The same as this section. Actually, this is the easy section, but this tricky section here in the forest is quite complicated in mud conditions, like we will see soon. And the rest of the course is cobblestone, some green area, green sections, but most of the riders, they saw the women's race also. So the mechanics, they changed the wheels, and this is one of those spectacular sections that they built for this ÖKK Bike Revolution here in Gruyère.
Long downhill all the way at the bottom, and then this long climb back up.
Asphalt climb probably is the only section they can rest a little bit, and still is a climbing section.
So there it is, 2.7 kilometers in length, 8 laps, 150 meters vertical climbing. And there's the weather we've been talking about, the rain. It was forecast actually to come in a little bit later. It's turned up early, but it is going to make for some spectacular. It's going to make for some proper mountain biking. And there is your overall standings. Lars Forster taking the lead in the series this year. The defending champion, actually, from last season. Keep an eye out for Luca Shatti. He's in action today. An amazing climber. It's not often you see a top 10 of just Swiss riders. Matthias Flückiger came out in Davos, took the win there. He's in action today as well, and he will love these conditions. Let's hear from some of the big contenders today.
So, bib number 1, Matthias Flückiger, good to see you again on the starting line. How is everything going after your surgery, appendix surgery, and how many % would you say are you?
Hard to say. So training felt better actually this week than last week. And yeah, hard to say. Did a lot of training this week because, yeah, of course, of the surgery, I hadn't the chance to train a lot. So, yeah. But now the weather is a bit changing. It's really exciting on this track.
Thank you. Good luck, Matthias. And Martins Blums is also here. So we talked about it. The weather is really bad now. How do you think will this change the whole race?
I don't know. I think it's going to be really slippery, especially in the village on the cobbles, as it was already slippery when it was just a bit kind of wet in the morning. But yeah, it will be tricky.
Good luck, though.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
With information from Matthias Flückiger. A couple of weeks ago, he got
incredible.
Incredible.
A week before last week's World Championships,
he was in a hospital.
Matthias Flückiger had his appendix removed. I don't think anyone, maybe even not himself, could believe he lined up last week in Andorra. Finished inside the top 10.
8th
1
position.
week after having his appendix removed. Here we are 2 weeks post-surgery, and Matthias Flückiger saying he's had a much better week's training. Dario Lillo, Under 23 rider in ÖKK Bike Revolution, Davos this year, electing to ride with the elites here today. Let's keep an eye on him.
And 4th at the World Championships under 23 1 week ago. So for sure it's going to be one of those riders that we will see in front. And here we have it's Azzaro.
That's right.
It's Mattis Azzaro because Thomas Licher, he cannot start the race. He feels tired and needs a recovery. So Mattis Azzaro, it's the rider that a week ago at the World Championships Elite, he took the 5th position. Incredible race for him.
Do not underestimate the talent you are seeing there. That man will be somewhere near the front today, absolutely.
Martin Blums from Latvia also last week, 33 position at the World Championships, but one of the top riders also of today's ÖKK Bike Revolution race.
Former under 23
and
overall World Cup winner.
And it's going to be our onboard camera.
Right on, well thank you for that.
So if we get some onboard images, because the mud, maybe we don't get too many as we want, but it's going to be our onboard camera during the race.
Well, the man they might all have to stop, the defending series champion, leading this year's series, taking the win at round 1 in Kua, Lars Forster, another Thomas Maxson rider.
Being champion, one of the top guys.
Yep.
In Switzerland.
Oh yeah, these are the very fastest cross-country racers on the planet. Make no mistake of that.
One more big name, Marcel Guerini. Podium at the World Cups, also the World Championships. He was in top 20, 19th position probably. Not as he expected, but look at the result from last year at the World Cup. Third position, always contender rider for the podium at the World Cups. And for sure he's going to fight to win here, as he made in the second round in Engelberg. When it was rainy conditions, probably the same conditions as here.
Oh, look at that. Perfect.
This is mental. This is mental attack to the others.
Already. Playing up on the start line. Matthias Flückiger backing her up. And World Cup overall winner from 2021. Like we said, an appendix removed 14 days ago. Already raced at World Championships. And when it comes to slippery, wet downhills, this man can't control himself. This is going to be all out today. This is going to be exciting to see what Flückiger's got. Missed a bit of training, as he said.
It's going to be a big fight between Marcel Guerini. Well, all three riders. Foster is really good in muddy conditions. Guerini is really good in muddy conditions. And Matthias Flückiger, we know that he's really good in all conditions.
And watch out for the man in black there, the giant rider, Dario Lillo.
Yeah, and Mattis Azzaro, the French guy, that for sure. When the Swiss guys there fighting between them, Mattis Azzaro, we will try to get a maximum bonus of today's race. All of them, they know the conditions of the course. As previous, they could see the race of the woman at the ÖKK Bike Revolution using the platforms at Red Bull TV.
And they have the advantage, unlike the women, of being able to start on tyres that match the conditions. If you missed the women's race, we had the relatively unique situation where Alexandra Keller pulled over with a 30-second lead or so and changed her front wheel, went from a dry tyre to a much more aggressive tread, a mud tyre. The gap came down to about 20 seconds, but then she could really perform on this wet track, and the gap was massive by the end, so it was the right call. There's your start list.
In the men, it's not going to be like this. They will not need to change the tires or the wheel, complete wheel. We remember that at the feed zones they can get nutrition with the bottles, or even they can change the spare, or they can change the spare parts. They have a spare part for the bike. They can change some parts or light parts, but as the racers, they are only 1 hour 20 maximum, more or less. So there is not much time to change. But Alexandra Keller took the decision together with the mechanic to change the front wheel, and it was a good decision. Oh, they changed our cameraman. We thought it was Martin Blums, and it's Lars Forster, even better. Or
Front row lineup, there we go then. 8 laps for these men. Second to last, ÖKK Bike Revolution round of the year.
We remember
Gruyère Hot Wheel next week, but let's focus on this now. Matthias Flückiger looks poised and ready to pounce in the middle. Lars Forster with a Red Bull helmet further away from us.
Two riders from Thomas without gloves.
Yeah.
It's typical when it's muddy conditions.
Moving the barriers back a little bit to give these riders as much space as we can up this start straight.
Giving more space, and it goes.
We are underway. Flückiger there with a #1 plate. An aggressive start from him.
All together, there is no one that is controlling at the moment, but they have a long straight line and then a left corner. Continuous climbing, and then they have a sharp corner to the left and the first downhill. So we will see how they fight. And Matthias Azaro is taking the lead with Martin Blums on the left.
So keep an eye on Matthias Azaro then. Like we said, 5th at the World Championships last week, on the form of his life.
And we see the camera from Lars Forster. This is the view from all the riders. They pass under the arch. They take the first corner left. And soon they will get to the first natural trail. Still sprinting, and Matthias Azaro, Blums.
Oh, and Azaro, a second-year elite, so still a young man, really making his presence felt this year. One of the big dogs, actually, from the under-23s. These are the bottlenecks the riders at the front fight so hard to avoid by being at the front.
And we see one of top rider is an under-23 rider, as we mentioned before. This race is together elite. Ooh, this
and
is
if you're
traffic.
in this lot, you are losing so much time. That's why the riders so fast up that first climb. Big entry in here.
As soon we get information, we inform you who is the rider that is leading right now this ÖKK Bike Revolution. We know there is an under-23 rider because the organization decided to race together elite and under-23. That actually is a positive thing for the field, because there is unique opportunity for the under-23 weapons, under-23 talented riders to race against the idols and also the top riders like Lars Forster, Matthias Flückiger, Matthias Azaro, and it's positive for them, and they take the chance. As we could see, the rider from BMC is leading this ÖKK Bike Revolution in Gruyère. It's Maxime Lhomme from Switzerland, followed by Matthias Azaro that is reacting inside the town of Gruyère. Martin Blums.
Azaro not having any of that, then straight up the outside, showing us that he wants the lead.
Adri Frischneck.
Flückiger back in 6th, Shatti back in 9th. Remember how good he can be. Guarini finding himself back in 12th, 14 seconds off the pace.
Look at his name, look at Flückiger.
Look at Flückiger back, Matthias Brothers back. Huh?
Yeah. He's retired, actually, not really retired, he's the team manager of the Bix team, but actually he won a couple of weeks ago, he won the Swiss Epic. It's a stage race.
So he's still in shape?
Yeah, he's still in shape.
Well, let's have a look at the start again then. It was an aggressive start from Flückiger there, you can see him in the middle in the red.
Matthias Azaro on the left, he lost a little bit the reaction in this start, but now he's a leader in the race. Into this technical section in the forest.
Have a foot there, you saw the front wheels drift.
1 foot.
There's going to be a hold up there, and that's the start of it. Now the riders are all going to start catching up. Flückiger getting through there, really nice though, really cleanly. He knew he needed to. This is going to block up, surely. And riders going to lose more time to the leaders.
Well, there's a problem for everybody. It's quite tricky. This is normal.
Impossible to ride now, really. Now there's riders on it. Bit of a gap again now if they can get going.
Look at Flückiger. Let's see if we see a Shatti. We see the South African champion under 23.
But the riders getting off and running. We saw it in the women's as well. I think probably when you're on your own, a clear track, you might well get through there. But right now, carnage then, further back in the pack.
It's fight. A lot of riders, they had to go through the traffic, the first traffic and the beginning of the race, but now again in this section. Actually, we have to say that those riders, they don't know the reaction of the bikes in these conditions because they have been training the whole week in dry conditions.
True.
And before the women's race, they couldn't ride the track. So they changed the wheels, yes, but they don't know how exactly the roots and the rocks and even the cobblestones, how slippery they are. We can see in this slow motion how Maxime Lhomme was leading in the beginning. the race, and now Lax Foster.
Here they come. Still on lap 1. And it's
Azzaro and Martin Blums together.
On his wheel.
Fast reaction from Matthias Flückiger.
Yeah, before the World Championship, I was thinking I'm in perfect shape. I never felt this good before, but in the race, yeah, nothing came out, and still hoping that in the next races today, hopefully as well, I can show my good shape. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, I'm confident and will give my best to keeping the leader's jersey for the next race next week in Huttwil. The track looks quite nice. It's fast, a lot of turning, some technical sessions. It's a good track for me, I think. I like it, and I'm looking forward to racing it.
And racing well, he is at the moment then the defending series champion. Oh, it's getting slick out there. Azzaro fighting through there.
It's fighting, and we see Lars Foster. He could go till there more or less pedaling.
Look at this, everyone getting off on that turn. So that gives you, you can't, you just saw the back end slipping there. This track is lethal right now. It is so slippery, the hard summer ground, baked hard now getting this water on it.
Look at this.
Literally is an ice skating rink, bar to bar down there, Foster.
Lars Foster with Maxime Lom and the Boyer from Dario Lillo is looking the show.
So Lillo back on the pedals quick then. Staying definitely in touch with these two at the moment.
Dario Lillo, we remember he's an under 23 rider, and he has permission to race in elite category as elite license, and he's in 6th position at the moment. Martin Blums leader in the race, Matthias Azzaro, Matthias Flückiger reacting fast.
Flückiger there, 3rd on the screen at the moment, looking like he's desperate to get back on the wheel of Azzaro.
Lars Foster.
And don't forget, Azzaro absolutely on form, a 5th in the Elite World Championships just a week ago at altitude in Andorra. One of the big hitters right now then.
Exactly.
Look at the pace of them up here. Absolutely crazy how fast they climb.
And talking about the interview from Lars Foster, he underestimates his results because he finished in 20th position at the World Championships.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he was not in shape as he mentioned. Well, 20th position in the World Championship is a lot. It's pretty good. And but in today's race, it's completely different because you are fighting body to body, you know, face to face, and you have better possibilities to get a better result. Even if Matthias Azzaro finished 5th position at the Worlds and Lars Foster finished 20. In a race like today that you start together and there is no other riders between, so you can get a good result. And we see these 4 riders leading right now the race: Martin Blums, Matthias Azzaro, Lucas Flückiger, and on closing the group it's Lars Foster, and we have Dario Lillo that is in the middle of both groups, but trying to close the gap. That actually is not going to be complicated to close the gap because 4 riders, as soon they hit the small single trail.
Well, if the pace continues like this as well, it's going to be a short race around the hour mark.
Yeah.
And there is Lillo in the white, the giant rider, desperately trying to get on level terms with those first 4 riders. As you said, Jose electing to ride here as an elite, not in the U23 category. As a racer yourself, as a former world champion, what difference does it make? Like, if you knew now, I guess the riders will do that calculation. The race is going to be an hour as opposed to 1 hour 20. Does that up the pace in the race or not really affect things?
Not really. Nowadays, well, actually in the old times, probably in 2 hours of racing, then you have to calculate more or less even your nutrition. But now in 1 hour 20, 1 hour 15, 1 hour 10,
1 hour dead, maybe today.
1 hour. It's all in. It's like a cyclocross race.
It is, yeah.
You are always up in your heart rate and your pulse, and always 180, and you don't give your body a meter of recovery. Yes, always pushing.
No, and even when I started commentating on World Cup races, they were longer. They were probably an hour and a half, an hour and 40 minutes, and you know they'd be 8-9 laps. Yep. You'd have 4 full-on laps. You'd have 2 laps basically at every race where nothing would happen. The whole field would kind of take a break. and then they would race again for the last 2 or 3 laps. Now, like you say, it is all out start. I'm a fan of these shorter races. I know they don't want it to look like cyclocross. Mountain biking's never going to look like cyclocross.
Me too. I'm a fan. Sport is changing, and as you say, as you mentioned in the past, you could see that half of the race, it was some riders dropping and some coming from the back because they were more veterans or more aged riders. Now it's in 1 hour, everybody is in front, you know, because actually in terms of physiology, after 1 hour or 1 hour 50 minutes is when you get the first crisis moment.
Is it?
And then you see some riders dropping and some going up, going to the front. But now in 1 hour, you don't see people dropping. You start in front, you finish in front.
The whole sport's changed. The training, I imagine, has changed to kind of fit the new. You know, the bikes have got more travel. It's revolutionising cross-country racing for sure.
This is life changing. The sport is changing, and it's even much more attractive than the old times when I used to race. There was a little bit more relaxed, let's say relaxed times, but now it's hectic, completely hectic. But super.
Lilo's there. Lilo has got on that leading pack now, and then there's the chasing pack as well.
And then it's Joel Roth, Marcel Guerini from the same team, Lukas Schiatti, Püntener, Adri Frischneck, Maxim Lom, the under 23 that was leading the first lap, and now it's keeping in top positions. It's the race is still open, but those 4 riders, and Dario Lillo, Martin Blums, Matthias Azaro, same position like 1 kilometer ago. Matthias Flückiger, Lars Forster, and Dario Lillo.
Oh, he's struggling there, Lillo. In the white, well, Dario Lillo, can he get on the wheel there? Of course, in Switzerland, plenty of support. We found his uncle who's here, giving him some support. Let's hear from him.
Next to me is now Fabio Lillo, uncle family of Dario Lillo. So you're with him today. Tell me, what is his strategy as he's racing in the elite race today?
Just trying to be as good as possible, and there's no really tactic. You just want to see how he's doing with the elite after he's been racing with the under 23, and especially after the World Cup or the World Championships, he's done really well. And so he just wanted to see where he stands in the elite. So yeah, that's why he's just chosen to race for the elite today.
Okay, so the conditions are basically very tricky. They couldn't try it before. How do you think is he coping with that?
We'll see. He's got some tyres on, which we didn't have any other choice, unfortunately. But yeah, so he'll try his best and see how he goes. Yeah, hopefully it's not too slippery. So yeah, that's it.
All the best for you and the team.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thanks.
Dario Lillo that is racing in the elite category, but remember last year at the ÖKK opener event in Riviera in Lugano, he finished also 6th position with the top guys, with the elite guys, and the race was won by Matthias Flückiger. So for Dario Lillo, this rhythm, this speed is not completely new because he has already the experience, but as the uncle Lillo mentioned, he's been racing in under 23, actually finished 4th at the World Championships a week ago in Andorra.
Yes.
And he's in shape and he wants to be and keep in front with those guys. We see Matthias Flückiger and Matthias Azaro, how they face this technical part. Also, Lars Forster and Dario Lillo running. It's funny. Probably he got a little bit blocked there. Now Martin Blums, Matthias Azaro, Matthias Flückiger got a small gap, 1 second, 2 seconds to Lars Forster and Dario Lillo. And watch out, because behind is the big team working together with Joel Roth and Marcel Guerini. Also on the wheel, Lukas Schiatti, one of the top guys last year.
Down the stairs they come. Lillo, though, he is there, right where he wants to be. Incredible. Yeah. Yes. And as we said, you know, at the altitude last week, in the under-23 category, taking that silver medal there. So, you know, the difference between the under-23 category and the elite category seems to be reducing. these top under 23 riders can perform with the top elites on the planet, right, Jose? And that's what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, especially when the races they get reduced, you know, and also because the level of the under 23 riders actually is an elite level.
Oh, look how slippery this section is. It's crazy out there on the grass. Forster managing somehow to keep pedaling around, and even he having to put a foot down at the top.
This situation is only helping Marcel Guerini and Joel Roth and Luca Sciatti.
Look at them sliding across there. Mad skills. I mean, when you get a whole course like this, that's when it basically turns into a non-event. A section like this is manageable, but incredible scenes, some mad riding through here.
Those courses, they need a lot of improvisation because each lap is changing, the lines, the mud, everything is changing. So riders like Matthias Flückiger or Lars Forster, that they are good in improvisation, in searching lines, just in dancing with the mud. Those guys, they get a profit out of it, and we could see it. And even they have fun, you know. Some riders in these conditions, they don't have fun at all, and they burn a lot of energy because they get the stress.
Right. Yeah, the stress, that's right.
And some they get, they have fun, and you see Matthias Flückiger. Martin Blums is it's offering all the efforts in front at the moment.
Yeah, he is. He doesn't seem to mind riding at the front. Lillo now in the white there, looking like he's going to join
Marcel Guerini.
Mathis Azaro at the back of that group. So this group is coming together. It looks like there's a sixth rider going to join as well.
Marcel Guerini is going to join the group, and Joel Roth just got in the middle. But
so Lillo's there. Lillo has now got on there. That's right. And Roth looking like he's going to make it too.
We see this technical section made artificially for the locals. Look at this. We see all the suspension, all the technology they use, the tires 2.4. And we could even see a little bit the mud tire that they are using, that now is pretty sticky to the ground because it's not raining, so it's getting a really heavy mud. And you need those kind of tires with the big knobs.
Yep, that's right, you do. But there's your leading pack then coming round and finish lap 2 of 8. Again, another a little slower perhaps, around 8-minute kind of lap time there.
And Matti Zazzaro is leader in the group. Remember, Matti Zazzaro is the second year at the elite category. A well-known rider in the under 23 category, and now he's the second year of elite. He made already a big result at the World Championships, finishing in 5th position. So now he's using this period of shape, peak of shape, a week ago.
And we saw a mad ride from Matheus Azaro at the first round, where he finished actually in Novia Mesto in 5th, but came for his first podium, but came through from a 55 start number. So, you know, what would he have been, 5th or 6th row on that? That's an insane ride.
55 is 6,
Yeah, that's right. So there you go. It shows you the caliber of this rider. All of these riders tiptoeing nicely around that left. You'll see the riders trying to get on the grass where they can, find a little more traction where they need it.
Matti Zazzaro, that is racing for a Rock Rider team. He's a Rock Rider. They are in celebration week because they won the World Championships last week with Alan. Sorry. They didn't win, sorry. So now I just put the...
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. Let's move on.
You
will know.
Almost some information disclosed there. Okay, let's go back to the racing on this long climb now.
Marcel Guerini is trying to catch. I didn't miss that one. And Joel Roth, the teammate, also trying to catch the front group as well. Luca Sciatti and Puntener.
Well, watch out for those two as well. Sciatti and Puntener, big names as well if they can get in back into this leading group as well.
Matthias Zazzaro still in front. Matthias Zazzaro, Matthias Flückiger don't want to lose the wheel of Matthias Zazzaro because he knows now is a move.
We saw just how amazing Sciatti was at round 1 in Kua this year with that amazing second place. He's a climber. I wonder if there's enough climbing on this track for him. There he goes there, flying through.
Sciatti is always there.
Yeah.
It's always a contender for the races. Actually, at the moment, in lap 3 of 8, he's a little bit conservative. He's keeping in the back. Looks like he's not losing too much. He's always there. The race is still long, that's for sure. And we see it. Lucas Chiatti. The gaps are small at the moment.
Yeah.
Matthias Azzaro is still in front. Matthias Flückiger, Lars Foster, Dario Lillo in 4th position. And in 5th position, Dropoli with Martin Blums.
Look at this climb. Back up they go. Back up towards the Citadel on the top of the mountain here. The town of Gruyère, famous for its cheese.
You know how high is the city of Gruyère?
800 meters?
No, it's an altitude. It's a small hill, and the castle is on top, 86 meters.
No, 8 is that right?
So that's why they climb 2 times. That's why they have 160 per lap.
Hey, there you go. He's on it.
I'm fresh. Yeah, with the Red Bull, I'm fresh.
Guarini there, 6. Roth. Chiatti goes through. 10 seconds off, so this group has come back together. Here's Fabio Puntanar as well, another rider that can definitely perform if he can get back in touch.
Puntaner and Chiatti from Solothurn club, Solothurn team, Metavo Solothurn.
Puntaner, another rider, you know, top 5, top 6 finishes all year long in the ÖKK Bike Revolution series. Whoa. Rain's still coming down, it looks like. That might be just spray, actually, off the back of that back wheel there.
It looks like it's getting back the rain.
It could be, and that probably won't help things too much, I doubt.
At the moment, it's not going to change. Even if it starts raining, it's not going to change the course, because I remember with the women race, it was raining a lot, so now...
Oh!
Small mistake
there.
But look at the reaction when you are fresh. You have the capacity to react as fast as Matthias Flückiger made.
But this is a big ride for Azzaro. Remember, you know, up there mixing it with the established elite riders like Matthias Flückiger, I mean, one of the very greatest in the world. He would love to beat him on home soil today.
But he's racing quite smart. He stays in the back. He knows that there are other guys stronger than him, and we see the slow motion from not a mistake, but yeah. Something, those things happen when it's muddy conditions, and the reaction from Matthias Flückiger is perfect reaction. We see Puntaner, Fabio Puntaner, just trying to get the wheel of his teammate, Lucas Chiatti. And then we have this is Marcel Guerini, Martin Blums, Dario Lillo, Lars Foster, just entering. Ooh, that's a nice image from the drone.
Big climb this one, isn't it, up there?
Yeah. And we see the 2 riders now dominating the race at the moment. They got a small gap, Matthias Azzaro and Matthias Flückiger. Matthias Azzaro, that is, let's say, the rider that discovered Matthias Azzaro, and the first rider that he protect Matthias and involved in his team was the legend Julian Absalon.
Well, there you go. If Julian Absalon spots talent in you, it's very real. Lillo going through there.
And he had a good eye in Matthias Azzaro, as we can see.
Yeah.
He raced some years with the BMC, and then he moved to a rock rider like now. But Matthias Azzaro was spotted by Julian Absalon. Good eye from Absalon.
Still a high pace at the front, being driven forwards here by Matthias Azzaro, the Frenchman. Really taking it to the Swiss here.
The speed is crazy. 3 laps in 23 minutes. This is going to be a really, really fast race.
It's going to be a super fast race, yeah. Okay, well, we're going to hear from the man behind the series, and actually the Thomas team manager, Ralph Neff. There's one of his riders, Lars Foster, on board with there, showing us just how slippery it's getting. Look at that, Flückiger off. But yeah, let's hear it from Ralph Neff any second now.
I'm happy to have Ralph Neff with me, the team chef of Timbus Maxon. Ralph, how technical do you think will this race be?
Tactical or technical?
Tactical.
Yeah, I think it's not that tactical in the end, because there are a lot of slippery corners, and yeah, you know, you can do so many mistakes where another rider can benefit and have a small gap. So yeah, the position is very important, where you ride, you know, where you go in the downhill, in which position, but it's not very tactical. And in the technical thing, we are not having the biggest obstacles in this track. You know, we are near a city, but we have nice trails around. They built that especially for this race. You know, some drops, some nice corners, rock gardens. They're very cool to ride, not too technical. But it's very slippery. Yeah? We have here the pavé, you know, and pavé, you know, from Paris-Roubaix is always very slippery if it gets wet, and you can do very fast a mistake.
And you have two riders in the top 5. How big are the chances that one of them could win today?
Yeah, I don't know the chances, but I hope Matthias or Lars can win this race. And Matthias Zaro, he looks very strong. You know, he was very strong in the last races as well. So it's not easy to beat him. It's not a victory for free here, but for sure Matthias and Lars are going to try.
And can they help each other as well a bit?
Yeah, I think it's always possible, you know, that you're not leading the group to your teammate. But it's not too many flat parts on this track. It's always up and down, so not too tactical at all.
Thank you, Ralf.
Thank you.
I should disagree with the sentence about tactical. It's tactical, of course, like this, because when you know your enemy, the kind of tire crashes.
A big over the bars there. I just caught the back end of, yep.
When you know the riders you have beside and the kind of tires they are using and how they are in downhills, it's also tactical to get in front or not in the downhills.
Yeah.
Attention, because it's not a dry tactical race, it's a wet tactical race, and it depends the reaction in some of the muddy sections that you can get a big profit or not. And of course they can work together. We saw it before. Lars Foster, when Matthias Zaro and Matthias Flückiger, they attacked. Lars Foster, he was not making the gap, but he was not cooperating with the other riders. And this we can consider that is also helping and working together.
Well, Flückiger goes over the line with Matthias Zaro there. 1-2, a little gap back now to this chasing pack. 8 seconds back to Blooms, Guarini, Forster and Lillo. Yeah, interesting. I mean, for me, Matthias Flückiger's season started really bad for him in South America. He then recovered, you know, and got better, but he probably hasn't performed like we expect him to, and he's not going to want Matthias Zaro beating him here in Switzerland today. And he also knows that Zaro is right there on form at the moment. So he's going to be keen to go with him, as we can see.
In my opinion, Matthias Flückiger is in the top shape of his life, probably. But the problem is that the results, they don't show. They don't show it, because he was strong in Davos. He was also strong at the Olympics, but he couldn't deliver all his potential. Then before the World Championships, I mean, he finished 8th. And 1 week before, he was in a hospital.
Yeah, that's insane. You're right there.
He was in shape.
It's an incredible form for him, yeah, and he did recover so well, actually.
The only thing he needs is to continue this line, and probably in the next races, obviously at home in Woodville today also, and the World Cups, we will see the Matthias Flückiger from 2022 for sure.
Yeah, that's right. You're saying that. That's absolutely right. A second in Crans-Montana for him. He won in Davos. Leger a second, and Olympic 5th place for him. So he timed that form up to the games perfectly, Matthias Flückiger, and only really that appendix has taken the wind out of his sails the last couple of weeks.
But Matthias Flückiger today, he found a big rock to fight against. Matthias Zaro is in shape.
Yes.
He finished 5th last week. Actually, during the World Championships, they fight together for 5 and 8 position.
And you can see that has lent over this week.
Yeah, the level of both, they are more or less the same. And both they are technical riders, both they are good in these conditions. We will see now at the moment they are extending a little bit the gap to the group that is trying to catch. And one of the guys that is riding comfortable in the back is Lars Foster, as he don't has the responsibility to attack and be in front, because he has his teammate in front, Matthias Flückiger.
Yeah.
The responsibility is for the other riders, and at the moment is Martin Blooms taking the responsibility to catch. And that's good and that's bad. Good because you are there in top 3 position or top 5, but bad because you are burning your energy for the end of the race.
And Forster, where he is at the moment in 3rd, looking good, or in that 2nd pack at least, looking good for points for the overall. Shatti is there though and about the man 2nd overall in the points at the moment. Fabio Puntanar is 3rd in the points with only Hutwil to go next week as well. But let's enjoy this battle between Zaro and Matthias Flückiger too. Men right on form at the moment.
They are riding fast, and now they are extending quite a lot the gap to the other riders. And now we have here the third group with Joel Roth and Puntener in front, and their teammate Lucas Sciatti. They are riding together more or less all the time. The rider from Solothurn.
Big climb, long on the cobblestones.
But it's better rolling than with the women's. With the women's, it was it was creamy cobblestone, and they had to be really careful delivering the power. And now you see the men's, they can push a lot. That means you can see in the ground that it's getting dry some sections.
Yeah,
some
the
they are
rain is
very
stopped
wet.
by the look of it. From what we can see of it,
It's drying a lot. That shows also that it's a high temperature in the air, because if it's drying fast, it's a lot of humidity. Yeah. And Matthias Flückiger
Whoa,
on
a
the
little
wheel.
dab on the outside there. He knows how critical those parts can be. I mean, you don't want to give away a gap there, do you?
No.
That you have to work hard to shut down. So Flückiger at the moment right there with Mattis Azaro.
But impressive how Matthias Azaro is riding also the technical part. We know the skill from Matthias Flückiger is one of the best, probably the best in this kind of condition. And you see Matthias Azaro not stepping out the foot and nothing. Impressive how technically this rider is.
Shutting down in 7th, actually, just behind Forster. So 1 and 2 in the series. Keep an eye on that little battle there as well.
Dario Lillo.
This one's going to go to Hootwheel to be decided. I think Keller taking the overall title in the women's earlier today for the 3rd year in a row.
For the men, it's still a little bit more open, still one more race to go. But as you mentioned,
you'll be glad of that tree there.
Small mistake for this rider from Brunex, Superior. A teammate from Ramona Forchini. Always those small teams, they give opportunities to the young rider. We have to be always thankful to those small teams. Not all the teams, not all the riders, they need to be on the top teams to perform. Clear example is Lucas Sciatti and Puntener, that they are fighting with a small team, the Metabo Solothurn, and they are also fighting against the Scott, Thomas and Rock Rider team.
Here they come up through then. That's a back marker been overtaken there. Ignore that man in 3rd place. He's not in 3rd place.
It's now it's an overlap rider under 23. And we see the time from Simon Walter.
Yeah.
Super fast. And he's losing not much. 1 second, 10 seconds in the second split, 2 seconds. So he's catching time to the rider in front. That it's Puntener, I think. Or Joel Roth. We will see it soon, as soon we get the images.
But here's your leading duo, Flückiger.
And Flückiger
just stalking Mattis Azaro at the moment down through this difficult man-made descent. They come, hopping over most of the hard parts.
Matthias Flückiger is having a comfortable position at the moment, as Matthias Azaro is generous and wants to deliver all the speed in front. So Matthias Flückiger just keep on the wheel at the moment. And we are halfway. We remember to all the spectators at ÖKK BIKE REVOLUTION in Gruyère, men's elite. And they are racing for 8 laps. In a
Flückiger just looks so confident when it's this slippery, you know.
Yeah, especially this corner. He's always riding the same style in this corner. We have Marcel Guerini, also pretty good when it's wet conditions. Narrow tires, we can see in front. The front tire is super narrow tire. And I remember always in my times, but also actual times, the Swedish riders, they are really good in these conditions.
Well,
They are from the school of Thomas Friesneck or
right.
Nino Schurter. Probably Nino is not so good in these conditions, but the Swiss riders, they have been always super good in this wet, slippery.
I think Nino just doesn't like these conditions.
Yeah, doesn't like. Yeah, he can perform in these conditions.
I think so.
But he don't like.
But he doesn't like it. He's very honest about that. But yeah, I mean, Switzerland is incredible. It's a nation that does dominate cross-country racing because it takes it so seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, the federation is on another level with the support it gives its riders. I've seen that when I've gone and filmed with Yolanda Neff and the women's team
But also with the races like this, like the ÖKK BIKE REVOLUTION, that is not only the elite race. The previous days they have a junior, they have a small categories, the kids race, gastro rides. They have it's a completely festival of 3 days.
Yeah, that's
involving all the segments in the mountain bike field.
Yeah, from grassroots to the very best in the world all over the weekend at any ÖKK BIKE REVOLUTION. The All-Swiss Series.
See, Massstäbe is closing the gap. Attention, the reaction from Massstäbe. At the beginning, he was struggling a little bit to catch the speed of Matthias Azaro and Matthias Flückiger, but now looks like he started the engine. Look at this.
Yes.
And even taking the lead for the first time. Hard race.
Wow. Look at this then for Guarini. I wonder what Azaro and Flückiger are going to think about that. Halfway mark coming up when they hit the line here then. The race time's going to be about 1 hour and 10 minutes, so they perhaps have slowed the pace down a little bit on these last few laps.
A reaction from Matthias Flückiger. Matthias Flückiger wants to get in front because he knows it's a downhill. And now the next riders. Martin Blooms and Dario Lillo. Just Lars Foster drop a little bit from those guys. Small gap for Lars Foster. He needs to be a little bit more in front in case Matthias Flückiger has some problems.
But it's a good ride to see Guarini come through there like that to overtake Flückiger and Azaro and get in that pack with them. Let's hear from his mechanic now.
Next to me now, the mechanics of Marcel Guarini, Severin Sagesser. So Severin, the weather is changing a bit now. How do you act with considering the tires and stuff?
Yeah, we changed before the start on the wet tires, and I think it was a good idea. Yeah.
So basically, we saw the women's race. It has been changing a lot. We saw also Alexandra changing the wheels. Is that a topic as well for you now or no longer?
No, I think now the weather, it's dry, and I think we wait on the wetter tires.
So after the World Championship, it's interesting how they keep the focus. How is Marcel doing that, and do you think he can win today as well?
I think he's in good shape, and yeah, next week it's his home race in Huttwil, yeah, and now I think it's in a good shape.
Cool, thank you, Severin.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice words and nice comments from Severin, but just in that moment it was a big reaction from Matthias Flückiger.
Yeah.
Also reacted by but look at Matthias Azaro. And I think when Master Guarini catch the two guys, Matthias Flückiger didn't like to have a three-rider. He saw
Three's a crowd.
Yeah, it's too much people. We see some gaps.
47 seconds then, separating these top 10 riders over on lap 4, halfway mark of this race. If you just joined us, we're in Gruyère, a wet and wild Gruyère in the west of Switzerland for round 4, the penultimate stop of this year's ÖKK BIKE REVOLUTION, and it's that man there leading, Matthias Flückiger, being chased by Matthias Azaro, 5th at the World Championships last week. Flückiger coming back from an appendix he had removed just 2 weeks today, can you believe?
Crazy.
And riding absolutely brilliant, yeah.
And look at it, now taking the control of the race. The previous lap it was always Matthias Azaro that took the lead and make the pace, but now it's Matthias Flückiger. As soon he got the third rider, Master Guarini, he reacted.
Yep.
As you say, 3-2 crowd. So he wanted to be alone with Matthias Azaro, sorry. And Master Guarini, after this reaction, he lost 7 seconds. Dario Lillo is already at 20 seconds to the lead. And Lars Foster catching step by step Dario Lillo, sorry. We see the gaps and the splits from Lars Foster. It's better and better in green. Just lost 8 seconds, probably a small mistake or just a limited crisis, but now it's back. Matthias Flückiger and Matthias Azaro
And first into this section, Flückiger, he's going to try and do it clean. Both these riders won't want to put a foot down. And, well, a small mistake there from Mazzaro allows a couple of bike lengths to open up.
Yeah, but look at this. If you are in front, you don't do mistakes. If you are second, because the speed,
you can't see her.
You make the mistake.
Yeah.
So,
and now another one. Well, Mazzaro making a couple of little mistakes there. I mean, I wouldn't say he was tired. I would say it's very easy to make mistakes there in these conditions. But maybe telling us a little bit. Forster cleanly through there. Beautiful riding from Forster.
Matthias probably making mistakes because he's getting in red zone by Matthias Flückiger.
Yeah, exactly.
And then when you are in red zone... and
Flückiger has been pushing now because he didn't fancy Guarini getting in the mix on this one today.
You see some slow motions inside the castle. Stairs, and now the drone shot under this entrance. This entrance of the castle of Gruyère. Now we see Matthias Flückiger, he got maybe 2 meters to Matthias Mazzaro. Matthias Mazzaro is trying to react.
Really trying to keep
right
on the wheel of Flückiger. You remember that those mistakes lost him that gap, and he has. He's climbed that just as well as Matthias. Maybe even took a little bit of time out of him there.
And Luca Sciatti and Fabio Puntener. Let's see if we can get some words from Luca Sciatti.
Yeah, so Sciatti performing well again. We caught up with him before the race. Here's what he had to say.
Yeah, of course, my goal is to maybe move up in the GC, and yeah, the season has been really long so far, so let's see how the shape is, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to this race. Yeah, for sure, in the beginning of the season, I wasn't expecting like the way how the season went so far, so I'm quite happy, and of course I want to improve, and yeah, let's see what's possible later in the race. Yeah, it's a quite special race, really fast, not that technical, but yeah, really fun to ride in this course. I believe that it would be a really tight race with all the guys, and yeah, let's see how it goes in the end.
Luca Sciatti is having a great season also last year, so there are some rumors around that Luca Sciatti is changing team for 2025.
Not going to let that one slip on air as well?
Yeah.
You've let one out the bag today.
Yeah. Well, I say...
almost.
Leave it as a rumor. Leave it as a rumor.
Right,
but look at Sciatti. Normally, he's going to... Looks like he's going to change team. And yeah.
Look at Flückiger flying across that camber. That's no traction there. And you can see just by how he tiptoed around that hairpin at the end. I mean, look how slippery that is. He risked it all along that camera, as he always does. Mazzaro, 4 seconds back now. So Flückiger is turning the screw here. Slowly but surely riding away from Mazzaro. Those mistakes are starting to add up a little bit for the Frenchman.
Slowly and solid, but Matthias Flückiger is getting 1 second to Matthias Mazzaro. Matthias Mazzaro, it's a strong, super strong. Oh, we have a flat tire.
Yeah.
A rear flat tire looks like must be... I don't think so. They are changing tire for
no,
wet
I don't think so either, no.
It was quite...
Well, it's not raining now, and what we can gather from the interviews around the track is that it is drying out a little bit, so...
So it's now it's time to... a small crash there in the off-camber. We could see, but now we see Matthias Flückiger without problems.
Yep.
We can see that the pressure of the tire is a little bit low.
Yeah.
When it's bouncing, so it's also a good solution when it's wet like this.
Yeah, the spread, that tyre then can spread, deform over everything, offer you a lot more traction. New glasses on for Matthias then.
He changed the wheel, but he's...
That's a back marker there, ignore that man, meandering through shot.
And Matthias Mazzaro together with Master Guarini.
So losing some serious time there, Mazzaro, on that climb.
I think Matthias Mazzaro now is thinking more about the second position than...
It looks like he's been broken, huh?
Yeah, look, the gap is big. We remember everybody that it was only 4 seconds gap. The last climb, Matthias Flückiger, that is hammering the rhythm now. He's hammering the pedals.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah. 3 laps to go then for Matthias Flückiger. But I don't think he's going to let anyone back into this race now unless he has to.
7 seconds is already more than he had before. 4 seconds the last time.
He has broken Azaro, and those mistakes, we wondered, but they were clearly what you said. Azaro in the red zone.
He was in the red zone, yeah. Probably because he made a lot of effort to be in front the first 3 laps, just making the pace.
Yeah.
You have to pay it somehow in a moment in the race. But if you are in crisis and then Matthias Flückiger attacks you, then
big problem.
Big problem, exactly. But actually, he has a chance to fight for the second position with Massa Guerini.
So, Azaro down to 3rd. Dario Lillo, the rider that has promoted himself to the elites, usually races under 23. Great ride for him, ahead of Lars Forster for the giant rider. Mind Blooms there in 6th place.
Dario Lillo, that if he continues like this, he's going to improve his best result at the ÖKK BIKE REVOLUTION that was last year at the opening round in Lugano. He finished 6th, in 6th position at the elite race. So if he continues today like this, he's going to improve 4th position.
Yeah.
And a little bit chance to get in 3rd position. And attention, the race is not over yet. Massa Guerini and now Matthias Azaro. Matthias Azaro staying on the wheel and probably taking a little bit a rest. Let's say rest when it's cross country. It's never a rest, but in this level, those guys, they know how to rest a little bit, even if for us, for immortal persons, we will die in these conditions. For them, it's resting a little bit. Leader, Matthias Flückiger, solid ride. Always safe, technically, some fun. And we see Massa Guerini and Matthias Azaro.
Fast on his descent still, yeah. Beautifully built track here. It's put up with the worst of the weather today as well.
Dario Lillo.
Yeah, dropping that seat post before he comes into this steep descent again. Forster doggedly hanging on there. Series leader, remember. Defending series champion as well. Hut Wheel next week. It's going to be a good one, Hut Wheel, because it is another really spectacular track, that one.
Yeah. Especially if it's designed by Matthias Flückiger. You remember last year,
I wonder if the Sky Boot is going to be in there again, huh? Designed by Matthias Flückiger and Elon Musk.
Yeah. He's going to make 2 jumps, a double jump, a line of jumps.
Yeah, possible. Right now, I think he's got other things on his mind, though. Flückiger. I love to watch him ride like this, though, when he buries himself.
This is our Matthias Flückiger. This is the Matthias Flückiger who we like to see riding, standing, pushing, with this squeezing the teeth.
And Azaro now losing time everywhere around this course to Matthias. And in a real battle for 2nd place now with Marcelo Guerini there in that light green top. Azaro back to 3rd.
But Azaro, he has a small problem. Now it needs to be focused because for him, it's already 2 riders that they show that they are stronger than Matthias Azaro. But he has to be careful because Dario Lillo is increasing the speed in the back. He's just seeing the guys in front, and Lillo is motivated. He's under 23, nothing to lose, just to win.
And we are at the point now, really, 2.5 laps to go. If you've got anything left in the tank, now's the time to use it, I suppose, right, Jose?
I don't think so. They have something in the tank, but
now you were world champion. You tell me. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, you don't think so. No.
Now the races, they are so slow, so short that you don't keep something for the last lap. It's just always
push, an all-out effort from the start. Really, yeah.
Actually, you are always full gas, and you always expect that the others they make mistakes. Then you catch time, But look at Matthias Azaro, really good. Massa Guerini, Matthias Azaro, and now Dario Lillo should arrive. He's not far away from those 2 guys. Here, they just cross each other. It's 12 seconds.
Wow.
Look at this. And Matthias Flückiger once again entering the famous castle of Gruyère. Current leader, and this
some beautiful drone flying there. Look at that. Matthias Flückiger then. He's got to go up this climb 2 more times ahead. We're going to hear from the Latvian Martin Blum's team coming up any time now. But Flückiger nearly at the top of this long climb again.
And here with me, Torren Holmgrens from the team of Martin Blum supporting him. Which support is the most important at this stage of the race for Martins?
Yeah, I think mostly just encouraging him and letting him know where he's at in the race, making sure he gets his nutrition every lap, and yeah.
Which strengths does he have, and is he able to push even harder in the second part of the race?
Yeah, Martins is really strong, especially mentally. He's able to sort of extract 100% every time and just really stay in the game and race till the end.
And now you're watching him go by. How much strength does he still have, would you say?
Yeah, he's looking really strong today. I think he's in it for sure.
Thank you so much, Torren.
Thank you.
Thank you indeed. And here he is on that long climb. We just saw Flückiger coming out the top of it. In 6th place at the moment. Lars Forster's the man in front of him. Dario Lillo, this man, is in front of Lars Forster there in 4th place. Lonely ride for him. Here comes Forster now.
Close to Dario Lillo, and also
Forster is usually strong at the end of a race as well.
Yeah, and Martin Blums, that also is close to Lars Forster. So it's cat and mouse fighting and trying to catch each other.
There's quite a lot going on in this race actually for the last couple of laps. The penultimate stop of this year's ÖKK Bike Revolution, Flückiger.
Small troubles there in this corner, slippery corner. We saw it all the way there, but look at this. This is the corner of Matthias Flückiger. Oh, no. Oh, no sliding.
Yeah, don't touch the brakes.
Don't touch the brake. He's riding safe now.
Slippery, yeah. Beautiful riding for Flückiger through there then. And this performance, of course, even more impressive. You just joined us. We've told you this information already. But Matthias Flückiger 2 weeks ago today, 14 days ago, had his appendix removed. He raced the World Championships last week to a fine 8th place, 7 days after surgery. And today it looks like he might be fully recovered in 2 weeks. And we go to his home race next week in Hutwil. So don't miss that on Red Bull TV. Myself and the 2010 World Champion Jose Hermida will be covering that one as well for you. But it's been a good race today, Jose. I've enjoyed it here. The track really delivering some good action, some good racing.
This is a really nice track, and especially at the ÖKK Bike Revolution, it's already common to see these tracks close to the city.
Yeah.
This is new in the sport because it not always has to be in the ski areas, far away from the public, far away from the cities. So the ÖKK Bike Revolution is this. They bring the mountain bike to the cities, and they show that it's possible to make high performance races close to the people and close to the cities. Actually, inside the city, in this case, in Gruyère. We see Matthias Flückiger. He's continuing with his show. He's pushing all the time.
Those riders around him, of course, all been lapped or about to be lapped. Flückiger very much on his own out front. Coming round now to finish lap 6. 2 to go when he crosses the line. 52 minutes on the clock.
That's a fast race.
Still a short, fast race, intense.
And Marcel Guerini, that is keeping the fight for the 2nd position. And
well, Azaro hasn't been dropped.
No, and this is good for him. Because when Marcel Guerini didn't drop you in the beginning, then you have the chances. And also now both they are thinking about the 2nd position, and this is good. He's still there. Matthias Azaro, Matthias Flückiger. 2 laps to go.
Yes.
53 minutes racing, and now starts the chrono, and we will see how big is the gap to the 2 riders trying to catch him. We see them there, Matthias Azaro and Marcel Guerini right now. 21 seconds gap. Step by step, Matthias Flückiger is increasing the gap.
He is, yeah. That's right. Look at that, 22 seconds. So a real fight for 2nd place. Matthias, without incident, looking like he's riding another win of an ÖKK Bike Revolution at the moment. But in these conditions, anything can happen. 38 seconds back then. So 16 seconds off Azzurro and Guarini for Dario Lillo. Lars Forster goes through. Remember, always strong in the latter stage of this race. He could push over this next lap or two.
And I'm curious, if I check the trees and I check the flags, they are not moving, so that means probably it's starting to rain again. We saw it with the woman race, that as soon the wind stopped. It looks
darker.
Yeah, it looks darker, and looks like there are some umbrellas again.
Well spotted. And also, the forecast, we didn't actually expect it to rain in the women's. We expected it to be biblical in the men's. So if it does come, it could be pretty serious. Well, it will certainly shake up the last 2 laps of this race. Anyway.
The race is done, so probably it's not going to change a lot. Okay, it's going to make the course a little bit slower than now, but at the moment, we see a dominant rider, that it's Matthias Flückiger. Right now facing again this downhill, tricky downhill with some rocks.
No problem.
Always comfortable, Matthias Flückiger, when it comes downhill.
Yeah, just looks so confident, doesn't he?
Actually, he's the kind of rider that even when he goes in downhills, he's fast and he's recovering. Some riders not. Some riders, they go fast, but they are fighting, and he's recovering, so he can use this energy for the next climb.
There's the battle for second place. Guarini ahead of Azzurro, the Frenchman. The top non-Swiss rider, of course, there in third place. Lillo goes through. Forster looking like he's got Lillo in his sights now. I think that gap's coming down a bit.
Yeah, just a little bit, not much. But it's important for Lars Forster to keep here Dario Lillo in front.
And Shatti, the man second in the overall point standings, actually down in 9th place at the moment, which Forster will be more than thankful of. It is a little tricky to give you a very accurate points general classification, as the riders drop their worst result of the year. So we'll find out when we get next week to Huttwell for those finals where we stand. But I don't think the title will be decided in the men's race today.
And now Matthias Azzurro is racing smart
and Lillo actually and Forster aren't that far behind. Close. I didn't realise they were so close.
Exactly. Reaction from Matthias
Azzurro going around the outside. Yeah, look at that then. So maybe he's sensing these two are coming. I don't know.
You know, he's using the moment because Marcel Guarini was pushing the whole lap in front. So Matthias Azzurro could recover a little bit on his wheel, and now he's reacting. Obviously, probably he also realized that Dario Lillo and Lars Forster, they are coming back. They are catching, and you know, one enemy is okay, but when you have 3 enemies fighting for the second position, your chances they are getting reduced. So Matthias Azzurro is reacting fast. Lars Forster keeping always this fighting, trying to catch Dario Lillo, and you know there have been one lap like this.
But what a ride from Lillo, the under-23 rider, electing to come up to the elites for here. As we watch Flückiger on one of the most difficult parts of the track. The front wheel slides there, no problem. Didn't lose any time whatsoever.
It's fast, Matthias Flückiger.
Technically brilliant, huh?
It's the kind of rider that he reacts always really fast to mistakes, to you know, in previous situations.
And it's so true what you say, that his results probably haven't reflected his form this year.
Yeah.
But one thing's for sure, and you know, 2024, Flückiger's not going to want it to go by without a win at the highest level. He's only got 2 chances left now.
I think
one of those is Mont-Saint-Anne, where you were world champion in 2010. Yeah. I know Matthias likes it there as well.
Also, Matthias was world champion under 23.
There you go. Yeah, in 2010.
In 2010, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So,
and Matthias, he really likes this. Actually, the first time he won a World Cup, Matthias Flückiger, after a long time in the circus, it was in Mont-Saint-Anne.
There you go.
In 2019, if I remember.
Whoa.
So since that time, he won the overall, he won many races, and as you say, this season he's super in shape, but he's not reflecting in results. But he has 2 chances to solve the situation after his health problems and you know, all the things. And for sure, in Mont-Saint-Anne, he's going to deliver a good race, I'm sure, and also the last race the last World Cup of the season. But at the moment, he's racing like Matthias Flückiger, you know, racing in front, winning. He's trying to win this race, and next week, home for sure. He's not going to go there just for training. He's going to go there for racing, proper racing.
That's right. Yeah, he will be. That's exactly right. Before they go to Lake Placid in America, and then to Mont Saint Anne a little bit later in the year than we usually go there as well. But I think wet, cold conditions won't bother Matthias Flückiger. But that's right. What can he do for the rest of the year? It's a fierce battle, though, for second place between these two. They're only 20 seconds off Matthias. They're not going to get back with him. But they are riding at some pace. And Azzaro, against all odds, I would have said, it looked to me like Guarini might have taken him, but keeps fighting back, keeps hanging in there. Forster has now got Dario Lillo then for 4th place. So, interesting. Forster has got Lillo. There's still another lap to go after this. Interesting. Can Lillo stay with Forster? It doesn't look like it already. There's a small gap opening up.
Now it's important that Dario Lillo keeps calm. You know, it's Lars Forster is more experienced, but Dario Lillo needs to keep calm, stay on the wheel, don't get too stressed. Even if you lose some meters, and probably he can get back to the last lap. That's for sure. But even if Dario Lillo keeps this position, it's already a mega result for an under-23 rider racing with the elite category.
Yeah.
And Matthias Flückiger making this downhill easy, looking easy.
Yeah.
And probably if we go there, we realize how difficult it is to ride a bike right now in these conditions. And if we look, Matthias Flückiger is so easy.
Look at these riders all over the track, just basically looking for somewhere they can find a bit of traction to turn, and usually on the grass at the edge of that big brown strip that is now the course here in Gruyère, Switzerland. Look at this.
And Lars Forster, Dario Lillo losing a little bit against Lars Forster.
He's just sliding away from him here.
Lars Forster is flying now. It's flying completely. Look at this. The gap increased a lot in just 200 meters. Probably Dario Lillo is suffering a little bit. You know, one of those 2-3 minutes that you are in crisis during the race. You are not completely focused. You could see he was pedaling with a dropper seat post down. You are not always focused in the race. Sometimes
which comes with exhaustion.
It comes always. Look at the corner even. He made used to a little compass.
Yeah. And still there though, still pedaling, still going forwards, but not as fast as Forster now. Well, we said he might come alive at the end of the race. He certainly has.
And Matthias Flückiger keeping the gap of 21 seconds. Let's see if still the same gap looks like.
Well, he's still pushing on, isn't he? Still riding hard.
Now he's managing a little bit the gap at 21 seconds. He knows this is the moment to managing, to take a rest a little bit, and then full gas again in the last lap.
Guarini out of the saddle. Azzaro sat down behind him. I wouldn't want to pick who would win out of these two. There doesn't look to be much in it, really, at the moment.
They are pretty the same shape.
They look it, huh?
And in terms of technical skills, they are also the same. They didn't drop each other, not even in one place. Lars Forster looks like he's going a little bit more in front, motivated. He needs to go out to the front, of course. He's not only fighting for a 5th position, he's fighting for the leader jersey of the ÖKK Bike Revolution, like the teammate Alexandra Keller that already won the series today. And Marcel Guarini and Matthias Azzaro. This is a positive situation for Matthias Flückiger, even if Matthias Flückiger is more in shape and is showing that he's stronger with this 20 seconds gap.
Yeah, it's huge.
Both, they are already thinking for the 2nd position, so you know, they are not going full gas because they know that they have to fight for 2nd position.
Last lap then for Forster, Guarini, Azzaro and Flückiger, of course.
Lillo.
Already on that last lap now. Hour and 3 going by. Like we said, it's going to be a short race, this one. Probably didn't feel it, though, out in those conditions, huh?
Yeah, attention, because depending how we can see Lars Forster getting close to those guys, If those two riders they start to fight, you know, to gamble a little bit, to make a little bit, tactics, Lars Foster is only going full gas. He's only 20 seconds, and 20 seconds in this gap is not much. It's a couple of corners, and you have them.
Let's see then what Forster can do on this last lap.
Martin Blums in 7th position, 8th position, Fabio Puntener from Metavo Solothurn team.
Everyone getting behind Matthias Flückiger here. Still.
Matthias Flückiger pushing till the end.
Yeah, still pushing on. He won't let off either.
He's the kind of rider that he comes here for training. He comes here and he races with a big gap, but still pushing till last meter.
Yeah.
Actually, in Davos, we saw him having a mistake in a crash. You remember?
Yeah, that's
going
right.
down, and he had everything under control, but he just crashed because he wanted to push to the limit till the last meter.
That's how he rides. And it works for him.
Marcel Guerini, Mattia Zaro. From both, the one that is riding more in front is Marcel Guerini. We don't know if because Mattia Zaro is playing the tactics or just because he needs to stay on the wheel. And Dario Lillo looks like he's catching back to
Forster.
Lars
Yeah,
Forster,
here
sorry.
is Forster in 4th place then, this man here, the man in the white behind him. Dario Lillo, 5th place for him at the moment. Thomas Ryder there.
That was fast.
Yeah, a little bit of oversteer on the exit.
That was a smooth ride going down. Even if it's muddy and slippery, you could see that Lars Foster is feeling comfortable now.
Oh,
small mistake from both.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Attention.
On that hairpin there. Now they come into this brutal long climb. But they are, you know, on the last lap, taking some time out of Flückiger on these on the climb, on that last climb especially.
Yeah.
Although Matthias did kind of make it back on the descent in front.
Before the last lap, But now both, they made this mistake, and probably Lars Foster, he gained a couple of seconds. Let's see the Mattia Zaro, the reaction from Mattia Zaro. His attack. It's a real attack to Marcel Guerini.
Wow, gritting the teeth there. Guerini not able to go with him, it looks like, but Guerini hasn't given up on it.
Yeah, he got really angry, Mattia Zaro, in this corner.
But Zaro making it happen, and look at this. Lillo goes back past Forster. You said
like a plane.
You thought he was coming back. I didn't expect that. Incredible then from the youngster. The under-23 rider taking it to one of the world's best.
Did he use elastic or something? Because he was far. He was 2 seconds, 3 seconds behind Lars Foster, and then he reacted.
I think that was some amazing tactical riding. He recovered as best he could. And look at this then from Zaro going around the eyeside of Guerini there.
Both couples attacking the same place. Mattia Zaro attack Marcel Guerini and Dario Lillo to Lars Foster. Let's see, the race is open, still open.
All going on this last lap then. Camera bike there in 3rd place, not a racer, don't forget.
Now they are all in red.
Flückiger goes.
Yeah, now they are all in red zone, so let's see if they do mistakes.
What a little dab there.
Not as smooth as we expected. But also Mattia Zaro made a mistake there, so they are equal. Let's see. It's just 2 seconds gap by Mattia Zaro. Keep going.
Yep,
He knows it's the last lap.
These guys are burying themselves now. And Zaro has opened up a bit of a gap to Guerini. Surely that's enough. There goes Lillo going through. And with Forster on his wheel. Lillo straight off the bike and running. Forster around the top. Lillo able to take that inside line. He's got to clip back in, you know. This is going to be close.
That was a fast reaction, but I didn't understand why he just
I think he didn't want to risk crashing, and he jumped off and decided that would... Well, he has come out of it with the lead still, so perhaps the right move, I don't know.
But that's fast. He lose nothing against Lars Foster, that's for sure.
No.
And both again, they start the war. Till then, we remember everybody, we are at the ÖKK Bike Revolution 4th stop in Gruyère. And the race is still alive. Matthias Flückiger in front with a 23 seconds gap
and that's
to Matthias Zaro.
3rd to 2nd.
Marcel Guerini is cracking. Look at this. Matthias Zaro is putting time on Marcel Guerini. He's completely cracking Marcel Guerini, but still in 3rd position.
Mad performance. Look at this then.
Look at the French rider from Rock Rider, pushing, fighting to keep that second position.
Taking 5 seconds out of Flückiger or thereabouts as well. I know Flückiger definitely doesn't need to stress now, but Azzaro is attacking hard, putting 8 seconds into Guarini.
Oh well, Azzaro is on fire. I don't know. 17 seconds is a small gap.
5th of the World Championships last week, Azzaro.
A small mistake from Matthias Flückiger, and then Azzaro is back. At the same situation, if Azzaro makes a mistake, Master Guarini is back. So
no way, and Forster goes back around Lillo then to take 4th place back again.
Race is open. Dario Lillo and Lars Forster. Lars Forster, European champion. Dario Lillo, also one of the top guys in the world in under 23 category. So elite and under 23 rider, fighting for that podium. Oh, for 4th position, sorry.
What a hard race then for these two. Insane stuff, still together as well.
The cameras, they are focusing that duo.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is a big fight between both riders, a young rider and an experienced rider.
Lillo seemed to recover the last time he was just behind Forster like this. Sprung an attack on him. Looks like he's paid the price for it. Has he got anything left? Can he go again? I don't know. I don't think Forster's going to let that happen. I don't know.
Oh, Lars Forster pushed a little bit in that downhill, and we could see like Dario Lillo lost a second, 2 seconds maybe. He was not complete on the wheel.
Marcelo Guarini, here he is, 3rd place for this man.
Wow, that was smooth. Ooh, not bad. Ooh, outside of the plastics.
As long as you don't miss a pole, I believe it's okay. But yeah.
And Marcelo Guarini riding in 3rd position. He just gave up. We should see.
Well, you just saw Flückiger go. There goes Azzaro. So he's not a million miles actually now off Matthias. 18 seconds at that split.
Matthias Flückiger increased his gap to Matthias Azzaro by 1 second. Now it's 18 seconds gap.
Azzaro is absolutely flying on this last lap.
Pushing hard. He's
Incredible
still believing that he can catch Matthias Flückiger. And Marcelo Guarini, that probably he is just happy with his 3rd position. We see the body move is completely different. It's end of the race. Matthias Flückiger going through the last time at the feed zone. Not need a bottle, it's only 300 meters to the finish.
He's nearly here then. It's going to be his 2nd ÖKK Bike Revolution win of the year. Matthias Flückiger coming back from an appendix removal just 2 weeks ago. The World Championships last weekend didn't go his way, but today Matthias Flückiger absolutely showing us that he is getting back towards that top form. What can he do in the last stages of this year? It's been a brilliant performance though for Matthias Flückiger coming up to the line here in Gruyère to win the penultimate stop of this year's ÖKK Bike Revolution.
It's a mega result from Matthias Flückiger in his favorite conditions.
He's done it, there it is then. Brilliant ride for Matthias Flückiger and a brilliant ride from the man in 2nd place, Mathis Azzaro, the Frenchman.
And 1 hour 11 for the winner. And just saying hello to the spectators, 16 seconds after.
Yep.
A 2nd position for Matthias Azzaro, the French rider from Rock Rider.
On that last lap, that's for sure. 3rd place, then another strong ride for Guarini. Couldn't match Azzaro in the closing stages of this race, but a brilliant performance.
So close race. Look at this. 3 riders in 26 seconds in those terrible conditions, those muddy conditions. Just small gaps.
Makes it onto the podium as well for the Thomas team. 4th place for Lars Forster. Good points for the overall. Dario Lillo, the giant factory rider, couldn't stay with him on that last lap. A brilliant 5th though for the man who elected, the under-23 rider who elected to ride with the elites. Pat on the back.
But Lillo is happy. He's happy. He knows the result. It's a super good result. 5th position with the elite riders, and even fighting both together, Lars Forster and Lillo for the 4th and 5th position. You know, if you finish 5 with those top riders, it's already a big result. And Martin Blum's 6th position, 1 hour 21. And Fabio Puntener, super good results also. Super good results also for him. In front of his teammate, Luca Sciatti that needs to arrive. And another under 23, Walter.
Another big ride as well, another racer.
Walter.
Going to be happy for a hot shower after this one today. Difficult conditions. Brilliant racing though in Gruyère. And remember, 1 week today, we go to Hutwil, hometown of Matthias Flückiger, to see this title decided.
And a super good result. 8th position for Simon Walter. He was riding all the time around 10 and 11th position. So at the end, he catch some riders. And we remember he's still a under 23 rider. Sciatti just dropping from the top positions, finishing in 9th position. And now he should be another under 23 rider coming.
Well, the riders are still coming in, and Matthias Flückiger took the win. He's had a few moments to reflect on it.
Big gaps between the riders.
We're going to hear from him now. Here then is today's winner, Matthias Flückiger.
Joel Roth finishing in 10th position, and Martin Groslambert, under 23 from France, also 11th position.
So apologies on the delay, we're just trying to track Matthias down.
The rider, when they finish a race like this, it takes a little bit more time because they just try to get warm clothes.
Yeah, that's right, than in the summer, in the summer weather, yeah.
And look at this. Probably they are ordering a fondue with Gruyère cheese in the terrace.
Flückiger's lap 6 being matched by Azzaro on the very last lap, that 9:11. Forster, though, looking like he might have had... Forster with the fastest lap time, a 9:07. Look at that, impressive. On lap 7 as well. That's incredible. Results are coming up.
It's time for lunch. Let's see if they get some Gruyère cheese. And results.
There it is. Yep, 17 seconds back to Azzaro. A dominant performance, though, it was by Flückiger, perhaps backing off a little bit on those last couple of laps. Guarini, 3rd place for him. Martin Blooms then mixing it in the all-Swiss almost affair there. The Latvian coming in 6th. But yeah, what a race. Sciatti, the man, 2nd in points. In GC, losing a lot of points today with a 9th place finish.
And the 2 under 23 riders that they are in top 10, Simon Walter and Dario Lillo, both under 23 category, and they are in top 10 positions at the ÖKK Bike Revolution at the lead race. Here we see the overall standings, still leading by Lars Forster. Luca Sciatti, even with a 9th position, he didn't lose too much the gap. Fabio Puntener, the teammate, in 4th position. Marcel Guarini, Joel Roth, Nick Burki. It's ÖKK Bike Revolution. Overall standings dominated by Swiss riders, and we see here is the winner of today's race, Matthias Flückiger, trying to change clothing, get a little bit dry.
We need to allow a warm-up, I think, after that, don't you?
And after attending the podium and the interviews. And we see the proof. It was raining. Look.
No, some brilliant racing. Gruyère absolutely delivering today.
And it was a
great couple of races.
Big race, and a lot of spectators. They keep the whole time motivating and pushing all the riders, even if it was raining. Not the whole day, because we remember we started the women's race with the dry conditions, and then
so Matthias just waiting for some dry clothes, as Jose said, and we'll be getting that interview with him very shortly indeed.
What do you think? He's going to tell us the same thing like in Davos, that he came here for training, or he came here for racing? You remember?
I don't know. We'll find out.
For sure, Matthias Flückiger is super happy about his performance. As we mentioned, he's super in shape, but probably the results, they didn't show it. So, but now, hopefully, after this race, the results, they start to come. the shape is there. He showed us. And he has some opportunities ahead. Woodville next week at the ÖKK Bike Revolution, and then 2 more World Cups. Images from the beginning of the race, Dario Lillo facing in a different way this technical section. Martin Blooms, also a rider, has been in front most of the laps in the beginning, but then he finished in 6th position. Fabio Puntener.
Okay,
riding.
so I've just heard we have got Matthias Flückiger for this interview, today's winner.
Some technical, some jumps. Marcel Guerini facing these corners, and also the teammates Luca Sciatti and Fabian Puntener working together in the beginning of the race. Lars Foster and those 2 riders, they fight till the end for the 2nd position, Marcel Guerini and Matisse Azaro. It was Matisse Azaro taking the 2nd position and Marcel Guerini finishing on 3rd.
A hard-fought race start to finish for everyone out there today. Thankfully the rain did pause a little bit in this men's race.
And the name of today's.
But it was this man, Matthias Flückiger, coming up to the line to take the win. And finally, we've got our hands on him. Here he is.
Matthias Flückiger, congrats on this win again. How proud are you of yourself regarding what happened in the last 2 to 3 weeks?
Yeah, I'm surprised actually. Yeah, it didn't feel much better after the Worlds, after the surgery. So yeah, I'm surprised about today's race, yes.
So 2nd win, and your home race next week is ahead. How stoked are you about that?
Yeah, I'm excited. So that's one of the highlights of the season for myself or personally. So yeah, it's pretty cool to race at hometown in Woodville at the final stage of the ÖKK Bike Revolution. So we are looking forward for that, and then 2 World Cups to come.
Let's celebrate you today. Congrats, Matthias.
Thank you, thank you. Thanks, guys.
Happy and at the same time surprised about his performance. He didn't expect it, but obviously after results in Andorra at the Worlds, it was easy to believe that he could make a good result today.
Well, I think we got Lars Forster as well. So yeah, here's Lars Forster.
And now Lars Foster with me. Lars, that was quite a tough race today. How was it for you?
Yeah, it was solid. Didn't felt the best, but I could push through. Felt quite good in the downhills. Made some, yeah, could close some gaps again. What I lost in the downhills, and then in the end, 4th place. It's good. I'm happy.
How about the fight together with Dario Lillo?
Yeah, it was a fun one. I knew I could take a gap on him in the downhill, in the last downhill. I just wanted to go first after the last big uphill, and then unfortunately I heard he crashed in the last corner. So no sprint finish, but yeah, took the better end for me.
So 1 more race to go next week. How confident are you to still keep the win and the lead in the ÖKK overall standing? I'm
not sure how the standing is now, but for sure I need a good race next week. Some freshness, still didn't felt that good today, so I'm hoping for yeah, what's better than Worlds, but hoping for a better race again next Sunday.
Thank you so much, Lars. See you next week.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Lars. And confirming why that gap opened up to Dario Lillo. Well, Jose, it's been a great day's racing. I've enjoyed it immensely. The ÖKK Bike Revolution continuing to grow, continuing to deliver some great races. And we will be back next week. So thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, Jose Hamida, for joining me. Thank you at home. We'll see you next week from Woodville for the finals of the ÖKK Bike Revolution.
Thank you, and see you next week.
Wieso ich für einen, der nicht auf dem Velosattel sitze, sondern auf dem Balanceboard stehe, erfährst du in der Videoserie von der ÖKK.
Willst auch du im Balance bleiben? Dann mach mit bei der Verlosung und gewinn mit ein bisschen Glück ein Balanceboard.
Nicht alle haben einen persönlichen Velomech wie ich, aber meine Versicherung, die ÖKK, zahlt die Hälfte an deinen Veloservice.
Okay, look. Born sinner, go figure. Keep trying to go toe to toe with you. They talking like you just a gold digger. Nah, I know you always been a go getter. Better than my last. You getting a dome better than my last. You can hit the pole better than my last.